Christo, what's up, man? Welcome, welcome. Getting you guys a little bit earlier today on this Saturday. Devil, what's up? What's going on? What's going on, man? Listen, I promised y'all more live streams. Yeah, we are absolutely trying to be as consistent as we can. Absolutely. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, no, we got a good one. We have a good one today. Couple things we're going to be doing. Yeah, we're going to be talking to Pepe here in a bit. I already got him teed up, and we're going to get him on here in a few, and we're going to be chatting. Cookie, what's up, man? Welcome. Miku, what up, what up? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hunt on top. That's right, that's right. Yeah, so we got, like I said, man, we got Pepe on deck. Again, they're number 5 kingdom in KvK1. I reached out. He was kind enough to come on and going to chat with us a little bit about KvK1. So we got that here in maybe about 10 or so minutes. That we'll be bringing him in, and we're going to talk to him about a number of things around KvK1. Should be fun. Then after that, we got to fill in the rest of the first 6 to 7 KvKs out of the G2 pool, so we can update the potential Zone 2 matchups and take a look and see how those are going to play out. And we'll talk a little bit about those. And then if we still got time after that, I'm gonna start working on my special project. Actually, I got 2 special projects really that we'll do live that I'm probably gonna end up turning into videos afterwards. So that should be fun. Basically kind of revolving around the G2 pool, and we're going to be gathering evidence to support our claim that some of you have probably heard me talk about a bit so far, which is that, we should just essentially have, combined, an overall combined pool is the short version, right? So we basically just combine all the G pools and kind of just turn it into one SOS pool. So we're going to pull some data to do that. We're also going to pull data on kind of how the G2 pool has been doing in and of itself. Kind of tie a little bit of that into 698 as well, because I know there was, in the first couple streams and days when the groups got announced, even before that, there was definitely some hate from some people towards 698. So we'll probably do a little bit there too as well. That should be fun. Yeah, PP, what up, baby? NxW. Or no, when you say NxW, man, it reminds me of it's taking me back to my High School Musical days. When what did they say? It's it's like when they used to do the what team for High School Musical. Me and my daughter do that. My oldest daughter. We're like, yo, she'll hit me with what does she say? She says what team? And then I'm like, oh, Wildcats. And she says, what team? I do Wildcats. We do the whole thing. Yeah. But from now on, when people say NxW, I should be like, NxW. You know, like, hey, either that or something else. I'll think of it. We'll think of something. Think of something. Yeah. Yeah, we will, we'll figure that one out. Whoa, I did not mean to do that one. Oopsies. Apologies there. Let me tell you what's up. Hey, whoa, what did I just do here? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. Ooh. Tripping on that one. Yeah, Mark, what's up, man? MFD for Dragon. Cat, what up? Be nice to Pepe. Yo, yo, BN. What up, what up? Hey, yo. Oh, man, are we already in home round? What's going on here? Alliance, home round? Oh, that's so weird. Well, okie dokie then. How many people are going to be like that? Damn. Bunch of just rude humans. Do me! What up, baby? Yo, 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 what's up, yet? Cat's fave pizza type has pineapple on it. I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. I believe you. I believe you, my good friend. No disagreement here. You know what, man? I will say I've slightly become a little bit more accustomed to having pineapple on pizza recently. Not that I'm, you know, all for it. I'm still like more of a supreme meat lovers, you know, more along that line. But yeah. No, Doom, be nice to me, Doom Doom. Bobby, what's up, man? Did Pepe start talking yet? Not yet. I got Pepe on deck. I got to do a couple. We got to get a couple of these promos out here real quick, and then we will absolutely be getting the Pepes in here shortly. Yeah, maybe just a few more minutes here, and then we'll get him in. I know he said he's going to be going to sleep, so I told him I'm not going to keep him too long. I'm going to try and get him more in the beginning of the stream. I'm subscribed right now. I can't support pineapple. I mean, like, that's what I said. Like, for me, you know what pineapple is like? It's like an acquired taste. And it's once every in a while, right? Like, it's not the go-to order. It's not the typical order at all. But I'm just saying I'm not hating on it. You know, I'm not vehemently against it, or vehemently against it. Starwood, what's up, man? NxW on top. Absolutely, absolutely. Money Pulverize, what's up, man? They're done talking. NxW on top. Bobby says NX on top, NxW on top, and BN on top of me. Maybe in another life. That's getting spicy. We're only like 15 minutes in, man. Can we like just save some of the, you know, deep stuff till later? At least wait till 20 minutes in, you know what I mean? Like shit. You know, you gotta make me blush. Honey, I think Kat should join and give her opinion. Yeah, yo, I mean, listen, I'm down. I'm dude. Man, listen, I'm down for having Kat on. I mean, the thing is, I asked Pepe too as well. I said, listen, man, if you feel more comfortable having someone else, because Pepe told me, you know, English isn't his first language. So I told him, I said, look, man, if you're more comfortable having someone else come on, you know, that can rep NxW, I said, you know, more, you know, just let me know. And then Pepe was like, he was like, no, I can do that. So I said, okay, absolutely. Yeah, man, but I'm happy to have anyone on. I mean, especially if, you know, an R5 isn't available or lead isn't available, so that's totally fine. Bobby's like, I agree with that too. Star on FC. Fully cool. FCS. What? Cookie, what up? Bobby left me. Yeah, man. Tim, this stream rated PG-13 now. Oh my god. All right, I think we're good there. Let me do this real quick, jeez. I don't know. Yeah. Cat, give my opinion on what? Doom, Cat would be good content on stream. Just please ask her why she doesn't like pineapple pizza for me. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna give it, I think 1 or 2 more minutes, and then we're gonna get Pepe on. All right, let me see. All right, a few more, and I'll call you here. All right, I'm just letting him know, give him a little bit of a heads up here, as a kind gentleman would do. Yeah. Cat gross. Cat doesn't talk about that stuff. Wait, what? Cat's talking about cat in the third person? Is that a cat, so cat thing? What's happening? Oh god. Cookie waiting to listen to my Pepe. That's right, man. I'm an acquired taste. Money, get moving to talk about the Diplo. That's content. I mean, listen, man. If Moobs, you know, if Moobs wants to come on, I'm happy to talk to Moobs. Absolutely. Maybe I should go reach out to some personalities, and then we can invite some personalities on as well. Yeah, Doom Cat. Hate to break it to you, but everyone who plays this game is an acquired taste. Oh my gosh! I mean, that I'm gonna be honest, man. That is absolutely one way to put it. That is one way to put it. Oh my gosh. I think I'm okay there. Awesome. And what was that? 34. There we go. Yeah. More like Bobby, more like everyone who plays this game is kind of special. But aren't we? Oh, I guess not there, huh? Okay. Cat says, well, I'm not someone people want to see or hear. Okay, thanks, bye, lol. Bean, what's up? Welcome. Cat is the best. Bobby, Cat is the most evil. Kasaijiao, thanks for the sub. I appreciate that. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. That means a lot. We'll give you some confetti here in the chat. All right. Let me go ahead and hit up Pepe so we can have the gentleman hop in here. Oh. Oh, did these end? Oopsies. Hang on. Let me take a look here. What's going on? I see. That's why. All right. Hang on one sec here. There we go. Also, fam, listen, before we get Pepe in, if you guys have any questions for Pepe, again, right, Pepe's NxW, right? So he's right here, right, number 5, 345. If you guys got any questions for Pepe, throw them in at any point, and then I'll try and save some of them so we can get some questiones out here for when he hops in her. Cat, don't ruin my reputation. I have an image to uphold. Which is what? Dear God, Bobby, beat me to it. You have a reputation that's new. Jeez. That's so finally. Mr. Christo, B-Heads, what's up, man? Welcome. Save our KvK. Tell YSS you will be upset if they mess with our KvK1. I mean, listen, man. You know, I was really like, you know, and I told Tomato this too. I said, listen, man, if you ever want to come on, you know, to the stream and just chat, you know, you want to talk, you want to share your guys' perspective, how you guys felt kind of going into everything. You know, I told him, you know, no judgment. I'm not going to come in biased in any way. You know, I'm just happy to be able to hear from someone. And, you know, I also think it's good to be able to kind of share that with community as well, being able to kind of have a conversation, you know, maybe take questions from chat if he wants to as well. But even if it's just coming on stream, if it's offline, you know, I told him, I said, totally fine. You know, it's up to you. And, you know, so I offered, of course. And, you know, and then, you know, he wrote me up some stuff and whatnot. And, you know, and then, you know, said it was okay. Oops, hang on, someone's ringing my door. Yeah, okay, hang on. I think my daughter's grabbing. But yeah, you know, and I told him, I said, you know, anytime, and you know, he politely declined, was nice about it, and okay, never mind. Daughter's just gonna go play a little bit outside. But yeah, sorry, excuse me. What I was saying before we get Pepe in is right. So you know, and like I said, Tomato politely declined, totally fine, and you know, but I told him I just kind of left the door open, right? So if he wants to come on, I even told him, I said, listen, man, if you want to have someone else come on from your team as well, if it's another management person, you know, that's totally fine. Like I would enjoy having a conversation with anyone, with any of the management piece from 357 over in YSS. And, you know, I think just being able to sit down and hear people out is Ben Provecho is incredibly important. And, you know, I think, you know, you have to have some places that are safe spaces in that regard. You know, we can always give our thoughts and our opinions on things afterwards. That's totally fine. Or even, you know, sharing, you know, maybe some of our views there, you know, as long as it's, you know, kind of debatingly appropriate. But, you know, I think for me, I never want to ostracize anyone. You know what I mean? Like, I never want someone to come in and, you know, or view my stuff and say, oh, well, you know, he's being totally biased towards us, or, you know, he's going to completely judge us if we come on stream like that. That's just never been my style. Like, you know, and again, you know, for that reason alone, you know, one of the things I can always say, and I've had people tell me this too as well, is that, you know, people will say, well, Boss is completely unbiased because he's not a part of any alliance, so he doesn't feel, you know, there's no, you know, unnecessary or over loyalty to anyone, right, to put people in a good light or not. And I mean, you know, that is one argument, but for me, honestly, it's just, I just really enjoy the community, man. I really enjoy the game, and so I think, you know, being able to have conversations with people is great, and you know, hopefully most of those can be informative or educational for the community. And it's just a way for people to engage and socialize. I think it could just be kind of a good way to get, you know, some good rep points in, if you will. Okay, let me go ahead and get Pepe in because I'm just catching myself talking too much. Okay, ready? All right. I just hit him up. Let's see. Yeah. Bobby, holy hell, did BN do the ooh stuff? Time to make stickers of it. PB, what up, man? Yo, BN, can you tell Paradise to stop being shy and step up? Yeah. I mean, listen, man, I told you anyone. You know, like I'm down. Like I even reached out to Alega, even though Alega from WB, Alega hasn't hit me back in like months. I reached out to him a couple times on Discord. He used to respond often. I don't know if he's busy. Maybe he's not leading WBA. I don't really know exactly. Maybe he just doesn't mess with Discord too often. But I reached out to some other people in WBA, 2R4s. I'm just waiting to hear back from them. And I asked them about if they're willing to kind of, you know, have a conversation as well. So we'll see if something kind of comes of that. And then I reached out to, I think, Nostra and another person in NTS because I couldn't find Mark. I had Mark added as a friend for NTS, but for whatever reason, I don't know. I don't have him on my friends list. I don't know if he changed his name or what. So, oh man, let me get this down. Pepe, what's up, man?
Hello, Bian. How are you?
Hey, man, what you talking about? English ain't your first language. You sound pretty English to me.
No, I'm not. No, I was just trying to make up an excuse because I'm very sleepy. So.
Oh, I got you. Well, again, I got you in the beginning.
It's okay.
So
it's okay.
Hopefully we get the best version of you. We'll say. First and foremost, man, as always, I appreciate you making some time for us. And
yep.
Again, for the folks out there who don't know who you are, give us a quick intro. Who you are, what do you do, where do you play, what's your position?
I'm R5 of NxW. That's it.
That's it. Damn. Okay. I mean, it's very mysterious. I really feel like you went for like a John Wick-esque answer. Okay, I'll accept today.
Those who know NxW knows. That's all they need to know.
All they need to know. All right. Yeah. Very suspicious. But I'll take that in a positive light for now. See where this goes. Okay. Okay. So I want to know first and foremost. I want to talk some KvK1 stuff, but tell me, you guys coming in. How did this past migration season go for 375? I mean, again, you guys are basically number 5 right now in power, yes. up until or leading up to KvK1. Uh, what was the plan? Off season, coming out of last season, how did migration go? What was the plan? How was that executed? How do you guys feel you guys did in the off
Yeah.
season leading up to the current season?
Our last season was quite boring and like we didn't get to fight much. So our number one goal, of course, was going into the number one KvK because I mean you expect to get the best fights in number one KvK, right? So that was during migration period. That was our only goal, but we never have um, like going for high power or anything like that. We never have such goals. So we usually look at the people that are applying and try to stay as lean as possible. Other than MFT and Hunt, I believe we are the only alliance in this KvK without 200 members. Right now, we should be around 182. We usually don't like passing 185.
Okay.
So that was the main goal. I mean, we aimed around 185 and we got to 182, and we have like three vouchers, I believe.
Okay. Okay, awesome. So so you guys feel pretty good then coming out of your migration season, heading into this KvK that it's just kind of helped prep you guys, if not solidify even more for trying to get KvK1, which was your aim.
Yes,
Okay, awesome. So expectations were KvK1. You guys get KvK1. After landing KvK1, you see your group. When you saw who got matched in there, what were your initial thoughts?
well, only surprising camp was the Hunt MFT camp, and I think it's same for everyone. Nobody expected them. What I personally was expecting to happen was um, WB, YSS, NTS being single, like solo in their camp, and who else? IMFS and us. Then either WAO or Milk we were expecting as sixth, but these last three camps would be uh, what we expected was um, the devs gave us like a very small server, just like in the two seasons ago in the BTX WAO season, as you remember. Other than BTX and WAO, all other servers, the camps got small B seats with them to match the WAO and BTX power. So that was the expectation. But only one camp in this KvK has two server in it, and that is MFT and Hunt, which was very surprising.
Okay. Okay. So so it's not just something that the community feels basically was a surprise, but even you yourself feel as though based on how the group played out with Han and MFD coming in, that's just not something that you would have expected to have happen.
It
Give
makes zero sense, honestly. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
okay. Now with that, I mean, again, that seems pretty assertively stern on that, where you're basically saying it just never should have happened.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
What would you have
to,
done as far as do you just think they just should have put a strong sixth in there and just made it an even six? Do you think do you
I
think it's two
think
parts like it's MFD and Hunt that got put in because they're low mid A's along with making seven kingdoms on a
I
six
th
starting? So like what is
what
it?
they could have done is maybe mix a kingdom with like high average power kingdom with less people and add up a kingdom with low average power to that to balance things out. Because Hunt and MFT, when you're looking at them, I think their combined power is around 40 billion. But I mean, 25 plus 15 doesn't make 40 billion in this game. I mean, it doesn't work like that. They have MFT doesn't have any decoration, like max decoration player. Hunt, I believe, has three. Their average power is quite low. Their resource healing capabilities are not suitable for KvK1. So, I mean, they definitely shouldn't have been here. And I think it's also very unlucky for them because maybe their players will get very demotivated playing in here. So I think, as I said, there should be one kingdom with high average power, something like milk maybe, with less amount of people. It doesn't have to be milk, but you get the idea.
Yeah,
And you add up numbers to that, but with the weaker players.
I got you. Okay, okay. Now, what do you think about? So I've also said this. What do you think about the idea of them if they didn't want to put, like, if maybe they felt that there wasn't a suitable sixth? What if they just put in the top four and then they put in two other like mid A's? So that way, at least would have been fair on saying, okay, well, you guys figure out the 2-2 split.
What
And,
do you consider mid A, by the way?
well, it would have been something like, I mean, I would say like somewhere between maybe 22, 25 bill, somewhere around that range of where you just find two similarly powered and then, are similar in kind of comparative stats and output.
Hmm.
And then you put them in there. So it's like top four and then you put two. And that way that would have also potentially solved them and I'm talking about it from the devs perspective, right? If they felt that they couldn't find a suitable sixth,
Mm.
instead of trying to kind of cram in this like low to like low mid A, why not just take two, mid upper A's, maybe somewhere like a 22 to 25 bill. You just find two kingdoms that are pretty close and you throw them in there with the top four. And then that way you still potentially have like a 3v3 split, but it makes a little bit more sense in that
Yeah,
direction. Now, I still am of the opinion where I like milk. In that matchup, I mean, you could even still argue WAO as well, but I liked at least them going for six. I'm just saying, in the event of, from the devs' perspective, if they felt that there wasn't a solid six, why not try and do it that way instead of, what it almost feels like is them kind of trying to
yeah.
force some, comp, some comparable kingdoms in there, thinking that, oh well, if we just throw two into one zone and do it this way, it's going to solve it.
I mean, what they should have done, as I said, is somehow trying to make the camp's average power close to each other.
Okay.
Because I mean, there's a huge difference between 200 million player and 200 million player,
Yeah.
especially if the 200 million is a active spender. It's not even close. So average power and the total mana spent, like RSS healing, these two are quite important in top KvKs. I don't know if I don't know how much weight RSS healing has honestly in matchmaking, but I don't think it has that much because MFT and Hunt, when you look at the data, their total mana spent is not that high. So yeah, I mean it's very unfortunate for them and also for the KvK1 because I mean we somehow made the teams happen and we were happy with it, but yeah, it got ruined at the end.
Yeah. Okay. So we get to so now we go a little. Let's fast forward a little bit. So now group set up. You guys see who's with you. Talk to me a little bit about the kind of team forming stage and the early Diplo, because from what I've heard from
Um,
everyone is that, obviously I think Jason. They said Jason had set up everything for the Diplo, and
yeah,
then
Jason loves doing that. I mean, every KvK we shared with TFS, usually he sends a message to everyone. He gets everyone in the same Discord, and you just start discussing options.
yeah, okay, okay. So from what I heard, everyone got in there pretty quick. And then everyone kind of starts talking and kind of sharing ideas and whatnot. From your perspective, how long did it take from once everyone got in there to just settle on teams that everyone ended up agreeing on?
First 1 hour was not productive at all. Like everyone was throwing ideas, but nobody was saying anything. Um, I think it ended in like 3 hours or something.
Okay,
Like
okay,
like the like by 3 hours I mean the final options. Then people decided on those options.
I gotcha. Okay, okay. Did you, from your perspective, at least from NxW's perspective, did you like the options that were being thrown out, or even more specifically, the option that you all initially settled on, which ended up being
Well,
the 4v3,
go,
or did you
going
like a different one?
going into this season, our goal was to get as much fighting as possible and being in the underdog team because, as I said, our last season was very boring and our members just want to fight and want the challenge. So we wanted to be in the underdog team,
Okay.
and we were happy with this final decision. Yes. The other options, for example, IMFS gave one option, which they said WB, IMFS, and NxW, which, to be honest, is a Diplo win. I mean, our team would definitely easily win that. We didn't want a Diplo like that, so we wanted to choose the best option that gives us the most amount of fighting. The problem was since Hunt and MFT camp is the weakest camp, you somehow have to make sure that how can I say they are not they don't get like bullied early on. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? If they get bullied early on and they got locked, it's just 2 versus 3 final zone. It wouldn't make sense. And in one of the other options, oh sorry, in WB NxW IMFS option, NTS also could have got locked. I mean, it's a lot more difficult, but it was also an option. So NTS was also not happy with that option. IMFS, I believe, proposed this, by the way, IMFS, WB, and NxW. But yeah, I straight up rejected it because it's a Diplo win and we would be too strong.
Okay. Now, what do you think about the idea of, and again, we've seen, KvK2 is doing this. I think one or two of the other KvKs are doing this as well. I know it's becoming a little bit more consistently prominent in seasons where you don't have a guaranteed final zone access from your starting zone. Was there any thought or consideration or conversation surrounding basically having a kind of limited restriction on just not invading zone threes
Yes.
and or allowing for at least one level 5 pass to be guaranteed per kingdom to make it in, and then basically after either a time limit or something, then everyone can just kind of go hard, or if kingdoms obviously get pushed back through their level 5 pass, then it just happens naturally that way. Any conversation discussions around that?
Yes,
Okay.
especially for the MFT Hunt camp. Like in the case, like if we were opponent with them, let's say WB, IMFS, and NxW happened, then they said, okay, let's just give them like free pass to the final zone. But honestly, anyone who understands from building and planning in this game, like not invading their zone actually does it. It just delays their it just delays them being locked. Because when you enter final zone, you're still between two big alliances.
Hmm.
Like the first choke point, you will get locked and you will stay there staring at the bastions. So not invading, like giving them the final zone access, it actually doesn't do anything at all.
Mm.
Because as I said, in the final zone, like you can zoom in at all the choke points, like you easily can lock someone out. Like if especially if it is like someone weaker than you.
Mm. Yeah. Well, I think the idea behind it is that even if that ends up being the end goal for the weaker kingdoms, right, like the MFDs and the Huns that are in that KvK1, for me, I think it's more about just having the opportunity to fight in the final
Yeah, I
zone,
agree. I agree.
right? And
Yes.
and and the reason I say that is because comparatively, you could potentially be fighting up to four alliances, at least more than one, versus kind of having these ISO one-on-ones throughout a zone two, a zone three, even if you are, right, in this case, the weaker kingdom, or one of those two weaker ones. For me, I just feel like from the player's perspective, it's just really about, did I actually have the chance to make it all the way to the, like, number one, did I have the chance to make it all the way to the final zone, right? Because that feels like I was able to play the season out through kind of almost to its entirety, right? Regardless if they win the season or not. That's number one. That's important for players because players want to feel like they're actually able to make it, fully into the map or across the map or participate in every zone. Not necessarily that it matters for how long, but just the fact that they were able to access it feels like, at least somewhat of a gain for them. And then to me, number two is okay, well, then I was able to actually fight against at least one, most likely more than one alliance out there for however long we ended up lasting. And if we end up getting pushed back naturally or we're not able to pass this choke, I imagine that's fine. Not to say that that's, okay. Not to say that the other kingdoms in that case would, be copacetic with that by any means, right? I mean, I imagine they would like to be able to push out. I don't think anyone wants to get locked. But for me, that's kind of how I break that down into two parts. So for me, I really feel I 100% see where you're coming from, and I do think there is some truth to that. I just like to find that I think in this case both can be right. Where even in MFD and Hunt's situation, them just making it to the FZ in KvK1 and being able to fight for however long they last can still be fulfilling to them. I guess that's just where I'm coming from.
Well, it will be fulfilling until they face WB and NxW Bastions.
Well, yeah.
So for just a couple
yeah.
hours.
No, absolutely. But I guess, yeah. And
But I agree, and I also I mean, in every KvK, I believe every kingdom should make it to the final zone, but I don't think the map should be designed around that, if it makes sense.
I see. So as in you prefer the map design, like you prefer a design like this, basically what you're saying is
Like
like
it has to be layered. Like you have to progress, then make it to the final zone.
Sorry, you have to what was that last part?
You have to like it has to be layered. Like you have to like you shouldn't be able to reach out to final zone from your zone one, if
Oh
it makes
yes.
sense.
Yes. No, agreed. Yeah, you're saying
I
that there
don't
needs to
like that
be
map.
additional zones that you have to go through to get to
Yes,
the exit.
exactly.
Okay. No. I'm totally in agreement there. My thing, and maybe you differ on this, and if so, that's fine. My whole thing is when I say guaranteed the FZ, I just mean that you can't get zone locked before you get to the final zone. So even if you have a zone 2 and a zone 3 that you have to make it into, like let's say that you had a zone 2 and a zone 3 in front of between your starting zone 1 and your final zone, my thing is just I'm okay with people having those things invaded. My whole thing is I just want to see kingdoms make it to the FZ first, at least get in, regardless of how long they stay. And then you can get it, then you can get everything invaded. Like I don't care. Then you can get your cross zone 2, your cross zone 3 invades. You can, get pushed all the way back through your level 5 pass and get invaded from the FZ, out to your zone 3, zone 4, etc. I'm totally fine with that. My whole thing is I just want I would like to see players at least be able to get the full experience or up to as much of a full experience in a KvK, because I've talked to players that get zone locked or zone 3 is the end of their KvK run, and it's incredibly disheartening and disappointing for them. And I understand that's the way that the current maps and landscapes in traditional kingdom builders usually play out. But it doesn't mean that we shouldn't take those feelings and those thoughts and shared opinions with at least some level of value and think and say to ourselves, well, how can we potentially design a map that can still give everyone the best of both worlds? Because really all you're talking about is just timing difference. That's really all it is. It's just, can I invade and lock them out now, or can I just do it in a week? You know what I mean? Like that's for me where the difference is. And I just feel like it's more of a win psychologically for someone if they feel like, man, I was able to make it all the way here. We fought for a little bit. I got pushed out, but you know what? At least we made it. At least we fought as much as we could, and we made it, throughout all the zones in the KvK. To me, I just have to. I personally just feel like that's more fulfilling than someone battling it out in their zone 3, and they never even make it to the FZ or get to experience that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I personally would prefer like having a dead zone 2. Sorry, having let's say let's compare like having a boring final zone versus having a boring zone 2. Like both situations sucks, but I think having a boring final zone sucks even more.
Yeah. No, I mean, absolutely. I can absolutely agree to that. And I think, we often see that, right, in KvKs where people get zone locked in zone 3, and then more often than not, it's just a lopsided matchup. And more often than not, in those lopsided matchups, you're barely getting any PvP out of those final zones because it just ends up being one-sided. And then it's just
Yeah,
it
it
it falls flat.
happened. It happened in like not last KvK one, but the one before,
Hmm.
where we were also playing like BTXWO,
Yeah.
NTS, us, TFS. I mean, it was terrible final zone. Like most people didn't even show up. I mean, NxW
I
showed
heard
up.
some. I heard some.
NxW showed up, and that's one of the reasons we got the dragon. But
No,
like WAO, like 40 billion kingdoms not showing up is crazy
no,
to the final zone.
no, absolutely. I mean, especially in the top KvK. I mean, you have to think about, like part of me, I view it as, and I'm curious if you've seen this, because this is actually a really good question I have for you now that I'm really thinking about it, Pepe. Do you notice any correlation between the potential of how much fighting you're going to get for your players in your kingdom, and that applying to potentially how much money they may spend or how much money they don't spend, versus based on the possibility of how much PvP and how much excitement and engagement you either know you're going to get or you expect to get, or that you might not get?
I mean, I can tell you that closer seasons, closer matchups definitely make both sides spend more. I
Okay.
can definitely tell you that.
Okay. And then you notice that, like, in maybe some of the seasons where you haven't had as much, you feel like it's the opposite in that case.
I mean, there's nothing to spend on. I'm talking
Okay.
about
Okay.
RSS.
Touche.
Like last KvK, like people had to kill their workhorses to get the achievement, resource healing achievement.
Yeah.
So you don't spend anything at all other than your usual, spending.
Yeah. 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 Whatever you're going to spend kind of daily and weekly on whatever events or bundles that you're typically buying on a regular average basis. No, yeah. I mean, it makes sense, and I think, for me, that's always been, I know my big proponent has been, at least in my years of playing Kingdom Builders, again, I like the idea because I feel like it's a win-win all around for players when, and like you said, right? It's about having a close matchup. And the main reason
Yeah,
for that is
exactly.
because you want everyone to, the idea, and I say this, and you let me know if you agree with this or not. The way I view it is you have to make everyone in the KvK believe
That they can win.
that everyone can win,
Yeah.
that anyone and
Yeah.
everyone can win at any time. That's the belief you have to instill in them, and you have to do that based on who you're putting in there and what the teams are going to be. And then obviously map design, there's a number of factors, but you have to sell that to where it is believable by everyone if you want to have one, the most exciting, the most engaging, the most amount of PvP, the most amount of spending in the KvK. Like, to me, all of these things are connected. That's how I feel.
Mhm. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
It's getting passionate in here. It's getting passionate. All right, Pepe. So let's move a little forward. So we get there. I appreciate you joining me on my little side tangent cruise here, a little detour. Uh,
My pleasure.
Thank you. Moving on. So teams are set. Answer this for me, kind of end all be all. Are you satisfied? Do you feel the teams that were set were the best? Like, if you could, again, if just under the assumption that we can make the KvK whatever we want, we can set whatever rules we want in place. If everyone follows or agrees with everyone, are the teams that were initially set and finalized the ones that you think were the best for the KvK overall?
For the KvK overall, or are we, like if you are talking about the final zone, if you want the best possible final zone in this
Yes.
KvK with these positions, I would say this was the best option,
Okay.
giving the other side, opponent side, a little bit edge, and our side would be underdog, but we were definitely okay with it, and all we wanted was to get. I mean, in our position, we would be facing IMFS in Zone 2, which should be a good fight because both sides are very close to each other in
Yeah.
terms of power, activity, and also in Final Zone, like YSS making it in would make things a little bit more complicated because they are stronger than the Phantom FT side, but still,
Yeah.
like you have servers like WB and NxW there with activity and all the planning and everything, just ready to defend. And those who played against us usually know how aggressive we play and how like annoying to play against an XW is. So we would maybe I would say I would give them maybe 60% chance of winning, like to be completely rational. But I think we would have a lot of fun
Okay.
defending our ground with WB.
Okay. And then how about hit me with you guys settle on teams. You're happy with the teams based on map positioning, as you said. Did you have any idea, or let me ask you this, even because obviously with YSS, NTS, and IMFS, they went to kind of their own team Discord or maybe a section within the Discord, wherever they went, but they went to kind of go discuss amongst themselves. And I'm going to ask you about that in a sec. But was there any indication from you in the main KvK1 Diplo chat on any potential reservations that Tomato showed, Kingdom Come showed, any of the Diplo people there for YSS? Like, was there anything from them that made you think, oh, maybe this could be something, or it was maybe there but it was subtle, or no, like they were just completely fine, they were totally okay with the teams that were formed, there was no pushback, anything that you maybe noticed?
Like first 30 minutes, I believe the first kingdom to suggest this right versus left was MFT, but after that, like all other options are being talked, and like 2 3 hours passed, and the YSS R5 himself, Tomato, suggested doing right versus left. He just said out of nowhere, okay, why don't we do like right versus left?
Mm.
Then everyone started saying yes. And it was only Jason, the IMFS R5, who said, okay, we have to talk with my team. I have to talk with my team. So this is not an easy decision because maybe they have some dispute with OSS because Dark is there, so they didn't want to be ally. But
Yeah.
after talking to his
Jason's
team,
BFF, right? Isn't that
yeah,
what we've heard? I think people say that's
yeah,
the word on the
after
streets.
after they talked with his officers and R4s, he came and said, "Okay, let's do it." And as I said, the first kingdom from the opponent side that suggested this right versus left was YSS. So Tomato himself suggested this from the opponent.
You know.
So I mean, looking at the map, like you already accept that you're sandwiched between allies. You're not getting any fights. So if that is your concern, then why are you suggesting it, right?
That's fair. And again, that has been, I think, probably the biggest pushback point from some, at least as it pertains to the teams being formed and the fact that YSS was kind of their own proponent of advocating and putting that out there, that they were okay with it. And I know some people told me that, I think it was Abda maybe from MFD who kind of proposed the right versus left or left versus right approach initially. At least that's what some had said. And to
That
see,
is true. That is true.
okay,
In like first 30 minutes, when everyone was talking about options, MFT was the first one to say, okay, what about right versus left? But we didn't think on it that much. We just skipped. Like everyone was still talking about other options.
okay,
Then after 2 hours passed, then Tomato came and said, okay, right, what about right versus left?
okay, okay. So I mean, again, you're another person who has been consistent and confirmed that YSS did indeed advocate for that. Okay, so they do that. Was there any after that though, up until the teams were formed? Was there any pushback from YSS, from Tomato, from anyone from 375 that was in there about the teams that were suggested on the right versus left? Or no, it just moved forward, we voted, and then that's what we came to? Or was it
No,
mainly just
by
kind
the
of the
time
IMFS side?
no. By the time everyone said yes, we were already talking with our allies about the final zone plans.
Okay.
Like we were 100% certain that this was going to happen.
Okay. So and then how about, I know you did say initially from the IMFS side, Jason did obviously, we heard that from a few others as well, where he went to go and talk with his people. Was there any pushback he gave afterwards after he came back, or was it more of just, okay, no, we're fine with that?
No, they talked. I mean, he didn't talk with us or anyone else. He talked with
His team internally.
his team.
Yeah,
Yeah, he talked with his team and came and said yes. But also he also mentioned that I would only accept this like if like this is the only option or something like that. So I mean, he definitely didn't want to accept it, but since everyone else said yes, maybe he felt pressured
I
and he
see.
maybe accepted because of that. But you can also speculate that. I mean, let's be real. Like their team has the advantage. Maybe their core five convinced him that look, Jason, we're gonna fucking win this season. Like this is easy,
Yeah,
so
gotcha.
just accept it, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, okay.
I mean, we are just a new merge.
Yeah.
Like we have to win this season. Maybe they thought something like that.
Okay. We're a new merge.
I mean, just
No,
speculation.
I
I
got
don't
you. I
know.
got you. No, I mean, listen, crazier things have been said, and what happened. And I mean, we know for a fact that at least with some kingdoms that, you know, wins are their priority, right? Are the most important thing to them. This isn't
Not some. Most
this.
kingdoms are like that.
Well, yes, I was trying to be conservatively gracious, but yes, okay, you could say that. Okay, so moving forward, teams are decided. Everyone at this point has agreed. At minimum is okay. Everyone's talking before the news dropped, because obviously with you guys are on the other side of this, right? It's you, MFD, WBA, Hunt. You guys are on your side. You said you're talking final zone. I'm curious. Before we get to the bomb drop, once you guys were on your team, did you at all amongst your four start to have any kind of conversations about final zone, end of season rewards, anything like that, or was it just
No,
other things you were discussing?
we never even talked about anything like reward who takes BMO. We
Okay,
didn't talk about it. By the way, we made all the building plans, all the planning, everything, but we never talked about final zone. I mean, we talk about final zone strategy, but
yeah,
we never talked about who takes which behemoth, because I mean, I worked with Elega before, and in that season, us, BTX, and WB was a lie. It was the same. We just said, okay, at the end of season, we can do some, some sort of voting,
mm,
and we can decide. And everyone said yes. Then we said, okay, let's do it.
okay,
I mean, in this season, we didn't even talk, but we would probably talk after maybe zone two, like start talking about it after zone two. But I don't like talking at the start, demanding something
I see.
or having like, I mean, some R5s do that, but I don't know. I don't like it.
Okay.
It has pros and cons, but it depends who you work with.
So you like the idea, because I think, from the screenshots, I know when Guns had kind of, streamed the Diplo chat leaks at that point. I know there was one I saw there that NTS said had suggested, hey, why don't we just wait until we get closer to the final zone to then kind of discuss EOS rewards. So you're saying, based on that, you actually like the idea of maybe not necessarily having those conversations first. I know some people are going to view it their own way. Some people will say it's good to have it first. Some people will
No,
say wait, but you
I
like it
just
waiting.
mean like I don't like pushing it, you know.
Okay.
If the other side don't want to talk early, then I'm not gonna talk early about
Oh,
it.
I see. Okay, got it. So if someone else brought it up and then someone else chimed in and said, okay, let's talk about it. You're saying you're okay to talk about it. You just don't want to be
Yeah,
like the
exactly.
initiator to try and say like, okay, let's try and figure this all out right now before the season starts.
Yeah, we never do that.
Mm. Okay, fair enough. So in this case, the bomb drops. I know maybe a decent amount of time before Gun streams, I'm getting pinged. I know my DMs are starting to blow up a bit, and it's coming out. And then it's starting to trickle a little bit.
I mean, before that, by the way, you
Oh, yeah.
missed a critical point. They actually before that they approached us to do redeploy.
Oh,
I
wait,
think it
I'm sorry.
was
Excuse me. Sorry. Who specifically?
um, I have to
YSS did?
check. Let me see. It was the third day of Brink of War, I believe.
Okay.
And let me see. I got a ping. Okay, it was yeah, it was Tomato pinging everyone in the deploy chat and asking
Oh,
like if it's possible to do redeploy or not.
okay. Oh, yes. I think there was a screen that Guns had shown there where a Tomato or whomever said they're going to go ask everyone in the main Diplo chat. So yes. Okay. No. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
they asked.
okay. And then so they asked what was, and thank you for reminding me on that. So they asked what was the response from everyone, or was there no response and everyone
I mean, I
just
was
like
I was I was the first one to reject it because, as I said, we already planned everything, did everything.
okay.
But okay, plans can be made again. But the main problem was, um, like, why on the third day? Like, it was kind of late, to
Yeah.
to be honest. And also, I don't know, it was very weird. First, they said their excuse was very weird. They said they're in the middle. So they don't want that. But I mean, you already accepted being in the middle, having no fights until final zone. So,
Mm.
like, did you like comprehend it like 3 days later? How does it work?
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. I see what you mean. Yeah. It's
But this was, I mean, this was obviously not the real reason. They just told us that they're in the middle, so they don't want it. But this was obviously not real reason. Then we learned that the real reason from the guns, leaks or stream, whatever you call.
yeah.
It was because of the reward distribution.
Okay. So so at no point did YSS say maybe exactly why they wanted to read Diplo. It was just kind of a general question. Nobody had really asked them
No,
why.
they said
Oh, they
they said
did.
they're in the middle.
Okay.
They don't get any fighting,
Okay.
so they want to redeploy.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. But okay, but they didn't. But
But
you're
I mean,
saying, but they didn't say the other
I
part.
didn't believe in it. Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't believe in it. It was, I mean, it didn't make sense because you already agreed on it.
Okay. Interesting. So they only shared one part, and okay, not the second part. Okay. So then it comes out. Now, did you have any sense or idea before Gun streamed, or did you basically find it out like a lot of other
No,
people did at that time?
no, but I knew because a lot of new people from both IMFS and YSS, like their R4s, or maybe some of them are not even R4, they started entering the Diplo chat after that announcement. And they were
Oh,
trying to discuss, okay, this is not gonna happen, like if we are having trouble, blah blah. Like, I mean, some people who were not there joined there. I
mm,
mean, some of them I know are R4, but they were not in that Diplo chat at the start.
yeah.
Once I see people like mass joining the Diplo chat, I was like, okay, some shit is happening definitely.
Okay. So then the announcement comes out, and or I guess the stream slash announcement comes out,
Honestly,
and
I didn't even see any announcement from the Tomato himself. The first one who said they declared FFA was Jason, and we were like asking, like
oh,
tagging Tomato, like why, like can you confirm? Like, are you guys actually going FA? Like, there's no response, nothing. It was Jason himself telling us that uh, YSS went FFA. Then YSS started saying, like YSS members started saying, we are not FFA. IMFS is going FFA. We are actually still allied with NTS.
oh.
Then NTS comes up and says, we are still allied with IMFS, but at the same time, we are still allied with YSS. Like, what is going on? We were like, this KvK is cooked.
it's, can't even get a straight answer. You get it like three different stories at that point. That's nuts.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so gee, that's wild. I can see. This is why I really wanted to talk to to you and or WB, because I really wanted to get your guys' perspective. And again, not to say that the MFG or the Hunt perspective wasn't interesting to hear, because it was. It's just a different perspective, right? Because you guys are kind of two of the more main powerhouses there on your team, a part of the KvK1. And so this is a pretty accurate account that you're giving me right now. Okay. So you get the multiple different responses.
Yeah.
And then after that, is that when you then get wind of the Diplo chats getting leaked on Gunstream, and or you went to go watch that later afterwards, and you were able to kind of get a little bit more of some context to what was
No, I
happening?
was I was watching it live actually on
Okay.
God's stream. Yeah.
Okay.
And it was the first time. At first, I thought he's sharing our
The
own
main
Diplo
one.
chat, like
Yeah.
with all the allies. Then I realized it is actually their team chat, and I started reading, and I like as more and more I read, I was like this is this is beyond math.
Okay. So you're going through it, and I guess I'm curious, what were your takeaways as far as again, I could tell you from me, right? My first one obviously was, I think, probably like others, was that, and you said this as well earlier in our conversation, right? With the teams being agreed to initially, and then kind of citing one of those reasons as far as not getting any fights. I think that Tomato had mentioned, along with the kind of merit reduction numbers being the 300, the 600 mil. It, what did you think of that, and did anything else stick out to you that you were reading?
I mean, I just found it very strange and funny. Like they couldn't even negotiate properly. Like I don't know what to say honestly. I'm not looking forward to ally any of them. Like it is very weird. It looks very weird experience. I never allied either of them. I fought TFS 2 times. That's the only one I know.
Mm.
But like the way they work is very different than the way we work. It sounded like the whole thing sounded very different to me honestly. But I'm not surprised. There are a lot of weird R5s and kingdoms in this game, and some of them are so-called top kingdoms. I'm not surprised. Like people always blame the developers and stuff like that, but main reason this game is in this state is because mainly because of the community and the R5s and leaderships, I would say.
So you're well, that okay. I mean, I can go a couple different directions with that one. Jeez. Okay. So I guess I'm curious. What do you think about the final zone mention when they talked about the whole merit reduction thing? Obviously, for the reasons being of
It, I mean,
YSS having a lack of fights, right? So
it is between them. I since it doesn't include us, like I don't care. It is
yeah.
between them. But one side has a number, the other side has another number. So just keep negotiating and find a middle ground. Like that's literally how like every trading, works, right? You find the middle ground.
Okay. Now,
That's how every agreement works. Like,
yeah.
and one side just stops and doesn't answer you, gives up. Like it doesn't. It is very strange.
If you were like, let's say it was you in IMFS's place, and it was you, it was NxW, YSS, NTS. Would the thought of asking for some kind of final zone accommodation, would that have been something that you feel you would have done, or would have asked for, or would
I
have brought
mean,
up?
first of all, we would definitely not be the first one to talk about.
Yeah.
IMFS probably would bring it up first. And also, I know NTS wouldn't talk about that early
Yeah.
either. So MFS would probably come up with something, and we would probably find a middle ground,
Okay.
unless they are like full delusional. Un-
Full delusion. Okay.
yeah, that is the only exception. Like unless someone is full delusional, I don't care. Like I always find middle ground. Like it is just couple embers. Like getting the dragon won't make your server greater, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Those who knows That's it.
Yeah.
You show your strength. You show your activity in the field. Who cares about who takes dragon?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, if we're talking bigger picture and I mean, listen, to be fair, and I think this is an interesting point that you're bringing up because it really speaks to, I think, a grander, bigger picture outlook, which is that when you hear about people talk about having a poor KvK or looking forward to a KvK, you never hear people saying, "Well, you know what the number one thing I'm looking forward to the most about getting into the next KvK and hoping it's better than this one? Oh, yeah, I can't wait to actually have the dragon and capture it." Not never do you hear that as the first thing out of people's mouths. It's, I wish we had more fighting. I would have loved to fight
Exactly.
more. I would have loved to have more PvP. That's the number one thing that people will always say
No,
first. It's never dragon
especially
first.
for KvK1 players. I mean,
Yeah.
there are players dropping six figures on their account. Like, imagine dropping six figures and you getting no fight. Like, how would you feel?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's, I mean, and I think, and again, I think you're spot on here. Like, I don't disagree with this at all. In that, if you're looking now, this isn't to disregard dragon, to say that dragon isn't important to some people or that there's not any value in getting dragon. Clearly there is. But I think if you're weighting that against, or you're weighing that against either having an incredibly fulfilling PvP engaged and sustained season versus having lack thereof one, it almost, I would almost imagine it has to feel like a sour taste in your mouth, like just a sour aftertaste of, yeah, sure, cool, we got the dragon, but like we barely fought. And
Those kingdoms, it's not sustainable. Those kingdoms cannot exist for a long time. I can tell you that.
yeah.
I mean, because that model only attracts beggars, like
Oh,
people who are after, crystals, embers, and maybe gold chests. You don't want to attract beggars. I mean, you don't want those type of players in your alliance.
yeah, yeah, it's a bunch of leeches.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right, you go beg on some other street corner. Gotcha. No, I feel you though. I feel you though. Okay. I mean, and I mean, again, I don't think you're wrong in this case. I mean, I think it does make sense where you're hoping that people are coming in, especially people that join your kingdom with the best intentions, and that they're going to contribute and they're going to be as forthcoming with, their average investment, just like someone else is going to be on their account, and they're not going to over ask for anything more and have it be something that it's like, no, we are of the collective. Like we want what everyone wants, kind of a thing. So yeah, again, in that sense, I do agree there wholeheartedly. So let's go forward a little bit more. This comes out, you watch the stream, you see the screens. Has there been any update you heard of as far as where are things now? Because clearly you guys are still 4, and it feels like
Yes.
it's a 4v2v1 to an extent, or maybe.
I mean, I don't count two kingdoms. Like I still count it as
Well, yeah, I guess
one
you get 3.
camp.
I got
So
you. Yeah,
it's
yeah. So three v
three.
two v
Yeah.
one. I got you. Fair.
Yes, true.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the current state of affairs? And I mean, have you heard about anything? Has there been any movement that you've caught wind of, or you just think, man? I mean, not that it necessarily changes. I mean, the only thing that it really changes at this point is the fact that IMFS might fight them, or that NTS might fight YSS second if they do, or unless they maybe go for them first. I mean, do you think that based on where things are at now, maybe that could be, because I've had some other people say this where
Now,
they feel that,
IMFS is definitely coming for an NxW. I can tell you that. I
okay,
don't know about other zone, but IMFS is coming into our zone too.
oh, that's interesting, because
I,
I've heard from a few
I
other
mean,
people that said that they may try and go after YSS first. Okay,
uh, I mean, I don't think so. I don't
okay,
know.
okay. So you
I
think
mean,
it's more likely that they will?
the thing is you cannot do like, okay, let me handle here first and let me do fight here, other day.
Yeah.
You cannot do it like that. So maybe they will go to YSS zone at the same time they're coming into our zone. Like it doesn't make sense either.
Okay.
So they have to choose something.
Yeah. Okay. And don't get me wrong. I think you can make a case for either, but to me, it almost feels like it's more of a, it's, it's more of a like sticking it to them in a way of, they kind of stick with whatever the original, because I mean, technically, if you think about it, it's just the original plan, right? It's okay. They're going to fight you guys, and then NTS is going to go fight WB. And then if YSS wants, they can just invade both the zone twos, but it doesn't mean that they're going to get any action, which means that
Yeah.
if they get any action, it's going to be them deciding on who they're, because I don't think YSS is going to try and take on, what I will say is this. What I do think could be tricky is if, because I see this playing out two ways. Either NTS and IMFS are going to win their zone twos, and then they don't have to worry about getting zone 3 invaded, right? And then everything's fine at that point, because then then it's really just a matter of, okay, well actually, I'm sorry, that's actually a better case scenario for them, because then at that point, even if, like, in order for anything to really happen there, YSS obviously could potentially try and invade both their zone 3s, and then really, I guess it only impacts if NxW, you guys, and then if WBA hard push as well, right? Then they could potentially maybe get sandwiched. But obviously, the worst case scenario at that point would be if they lose their zone twos, and then YSS pushes in from their level 4 passes before the FZ opens, and then they get zone locked, and then it's NTS and IMFS zone locked. YSS is then in their zone 3s, but then they're fighting it out against WP or I'm sorry, not them, because they'd only be able to fight. They can't get to the other zone 3. Excuse me. So it would really at that point only be them fighting against IMFS and I guess NTS in that case, if they care for it. Because I guess in that sense they don't really. I guess IMFS doesn't really have to worry about the that, I guess, the internal zone 3 at that point. So it's. I guess it just depends at that point if IMFS or NTS really care about wanting to go for that zone 3 in particular. So, yeah, I guess now that I look at the map and I really think about it, I guess it's not really that bad for IMFS and NTS. It really only would be bad if they get pushed out of their zone 2 and then get zone 3 invaded by you guys.
Honestly, my opinion is like if they don't have any other plan,
Yeah.
like with OISS, I think both NTS and IMFS already knows that this is the only good action that they will have this season.
Yeah.
So they will just focus on zone 2. Like, why would they care about final zone
Yeah.
in this situation? Like, if they can make it, yeah, they will still try to make it. But like, if YSS is trying hard to zone lock them, maybe they will just give it up and just ignore them.
Oh yeah, you know what, I'm tripping now that I am looking at the map. Actually, they could, because if you guys beat out IMFS in zone 2, which is Yao Kwang, then you can go through the level 4 pass, get into IMFS's zone 3, and YSS can push into the zone 2. And so I guess there could technically be the sandwich like I thought initially. I guess that would be the absolute worst case.
Yeah, they are between us, so they can get sandwiched through.
Yeah, it would be. But I guess that's the challenge. It's like, I guess because wouldn't you now say, based on that, this is actually like, part of me almost, and I guess it depends on how you view this, but part of me feels like YSS could maybe get some more slack, like more flack, than they might be potentially getting now. Because if you think about it, YSS really is the determining factor here, right? Because if they end up pushing out, or if they end up pushing into NTS's and IMFS's zone 3, which they don't necessarily have to, right? Because they could just go into their own zone 3. But if they try to push in to NTS's zone 3 or IMFS's zone 3 and apply pressure and attack them, that could in and of itself immediately cripple and finish the KvK at that point. Because the only other option you'd have then is that if they get zone locked out, then you're having to potentially re-diplo for final zone in, again, the worst case scenario. And then you'd have to try and turn it into some, you'd have for Zone 1, so you have to try and turn it into maybe some fair 2v2, which would be like a 3v2 in one way. Again, if you're counting the kingdoms, if you're not. But I guess,
Yeah.
do you feel a similar way where, like, to me, it almost feels like YSS is the determining factor here? Like, there's a
As I
lot more
said,
power
nothing.
on them.
I don't see anything as 100%. Like,
Okay.
for example, we made our plans based on 3 versus 3, and we didn't even make a single change on the plans because you cannot rely on, enemies, opponents'
Yeah.
words and their plans and their actions at all. So we still made all our plans based on 3 versus 3 situation. So if they were to ally later on, I wouldn't be surprised. It is definitely a possibility,
Yeah.
honestly.
I mean, do you know what would be funny though? I will say this. What could be funny is if NTS doesn't fight YSS Zone 2, IMFS doesn't fight them Zone 2. They don't
The,
even go into their own Zone 3s. Instead, maybe they just say, "Look, can we just share half of your Zone 3 with you guys, right?" And then they go to WB and say, "Hey, can we share half of your Zone 3 too?" And then YSS is just stuck holding the pot in not only their Zone 3 but their adjacent Zone 3s, and then they don't get any action until the FZ, and it just ends up being the same exact case. Now, I don't.
yeah,
I mean,
it's up
that's
to them.
extreme.
It's up to them.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a little bit extreme though. Yeah.
yeah, it is. Yeah, because again, you'd have to bank on IMFS, even if they were able to break you guys at level 4 pass. Same thing with NTS. If NTS was able to break WB at level 4 pass and go into the Zone 3, you'd then have to bank on them only pushing halfway just so they can get one level 5 pass and not pushing any further, and then doing that all in what would feel like this effort to just further stick it to what it says. I mean, yeah, you're asking for a lot there in that one. But I do think it would. I do think it would be funny if it played out that way.
Well, there's another option like NTS and IMFS
Yeah.
going at it, like going against YSS and zone locking them. That's also another option.
Oh yeah.
But it would give them what they wanted, which is like earlier fights.
Yeah.
So I don't think they will do that. I think NTS is definitely going for WB and IMFS is definitely going for us.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very clear from the building as well. Like you can check the building and understand it very easily.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. I get what you're saying. Well, and I mean, yeah. So I guess we'll have to see, man. When the Zone 2 fights pop off, I gotta look real quick. Where? Let me see here. Where are you guys?
Yeah, I mean,
When does I gotta see when statue opens too. I'll have to go and look because I haven't checked real quick on the timings for that. Do you know when you guys' statue's opening?
yes. Do you mean the past one or statue itself?
No. Yeah. Well, I
The
guess
event
the pass. Yeah, I guess the
you talk
passes and the event.
pass opens on Tuesday, statue is on Thursday,
Okay.
and zone 2 is on Sunday.
Okay. Oh, nice. Oh,
12:46 UTC for our KvK.
Oh, sweet. Okay, very nice. That actually should be good then for me because I'm off Sunday, so maybe I'll actually be able to finally stream a Zone 2 war. Should be good.
Yeah, I mean zone this KvK is all I would say all about zone 2s from now on,
Yeah.
unless opponents agree on something and it becomes 3 versus 3 again.
Yeah.
Which as I said, I definitely think there's a probability of that happening.
Okay.
Because think about this. Think about this. Let's say IMFS loses their zone.
Yeah.
Now YSS will have a stronger hand in the negotiation, right? So maybe they want to use that in order to negotiate something better. Maybe they will try. I don't know. As I said, I never work with them. I don't know like what type of kingdom they are, what type of R5 he is. I have no idea. But all I heard was they like rewards. That's what I heard. They like rewards and they do their best to get rewards.
Okay.
I mean that's their whole I mean look at their past. Who stays in G1 and G3 and farms T4s? Who does that? It's boring. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it shows. It shows in this KvK. Like they're definitely. Uh, I don't want to, you know, tell anything bad, but they're like inexperienced. Like in terms of leadership, like this just shows inexperience to me.
Okay, I mean, fair. I mean, listen, man, I will say this, right? The thing I do agree with on that is, when you think about kingdoms that are leaving G2, and it's fun. It's funny you said that because I'm actually going to be doing a video on this. And if I get some time later on the stream, I'm actually going to do some research so I can start prepping for this. Because I talked about this a couple streams ago where I don't think people really realize. And also, listen, I was going to say too as well, I know it's late for you. So if you got to go, you
No
can
problem.
slap me silly and just be like, I got a dipski. But one of the things that I am like, I want to bring some attention to this because I feel like it's not getting enough play right now. And it's not getting enough attention because to me, I think there's two big things. One, and I've been saying this for a while, is that I just really believe that we just need to have one overall combined KvK pool in Season of Strife. All this separation, isolation, it's not good. It's basically the same thing that people were dealing with before they reduced the amount of time slots for Roots of War. People were complaining about because there was too many times, too many days. It was creating more imbalanced matchups because people had too many choices that they could choose. And what did they do? They reduced the amount of overall time slots that were available, and it at least improved it a bit. But it's the
Yeah,
same
but can I
exact
say
thing.
something about it?
Oh, please, yeah, no, please. Again, I'd
I
love to
don't.
hear
I
what you
don't
think.
think. I don't think. I mean, it is possible, definitely, but in that case, some kingdoms would need to wait like very very long time, and I mean to because think about it, like every day there are new servers opening, right? And their season start day is all different. So to line all of them up, someone has to wait maybe 40 days. So that's
Yeah.
only possible with that. Other than that, I don't see the possibility of it's happening.
Yeah. Well, and again, that would obviously be the only drawback, right? The only con is that, and specifically, this is if you're coming out of season 3, right? So it's not like you have to wait for every KvK.
Yeah, I was talking about that.
Yeah,
Yes.
when you come out of season 3, it's a one-time wait, and it doesn't always mean it's going to be 40 days. It just depends on the timing, of course, because
Yes,
it could also
exactly.
be where it lines up great, and you're coming in. And remember, it's only a one-time wait. Once you get into the KvK cycle, you're there, right? And now you're just rotating on it. You're good to go for basically the rest of the kingdom's life. So for me, I personally think it is an okay, very small sacrifice for a larger, bigger gain, because when you have a pool, basically what could be of 800 kingdoms, right? That's what we're really talking about. It's around 800 kingdoms right now in SOS. I think it's a little bit more now, and you have all 800 of those compared to having a couple hundred here, a couple hundred here, 100, 150 there. All it's doing is just having the same effect that all the different row times did. There's too much isolation, there's too much separation, and if people could just get over that small hump, which is a one-time hump, going from season 3 to SOS, now you have the highest and best opportunities to have the most balanced, the most fair matchups. And it then becomes, I believe, a lot easier to start doing more things. Like if you want to do kingdom caps, if you want to do other certain limitations that are going to end up helping out a lot more of the top KvKs and even the mid ones too. But anyways, aside from that, though, it was for me. It was that on the excuse me, dear God, I think I just lost my train of thought. What was I saying before? I had two things, and now I feel like I've gone blank. Quick, say some trigger words. Help me remember. Just throw anything out there.
I just go back in the stream on your screen and check maybe.
Oh yeah, that's slightly not the worst idea. Um, hmm. I had such a good one for you too. Oh man, and it's just slipped me. I thought I've been doing so
Yeah,
good.
time.
Ugh. Well, anyways, I'm hoping it'll come back to me at some point. Uh, I guess aside from that, I know I've kept you here already a decent amount of time. Uh, to end things out. Oh yes, if anybody has any, thank you. Yes, if anybody has any questions for Pepe, please go ahead and fire them off now. If anyone has any questions for Pepe, shoot them out, and we'll see if we can get a few in here for him before we let him go. So if you got a question for the Pepsters, throw it out now, and then we'll get a couple in here before we leave. Let him be. Mystery, what's up? Welcome. Pepe, is Pinchilla still dating Geralt's sister? I have no idea what that means. Is that a no? You don't want to answer that?
Nice, I remember.
Oh, that's your member?
I mean, the guy asking him is also our member.
Okay. No. But that's to you though. Do you not want to answer that?
Love you, Yohei.
Okay.
You're my favorite player, Yohei.
Did I mute myself? Pepe, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, good. I was just making sure. No, because I was reading that as though I was asking you the question. Excuse me. I got you.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I got you. Read the chat too. Easy peasy. This is why the devs need to just make the teams or stick to the team. KvK scenarios only. Yeah. Hey, BN, tell Pepe to kiss me. I mean, he's not on camera. I guess he could make the kissy noise with his lips, but that's up to him if he so chooses. Daryl, Pepe, people say you are their sex idol supreme leader. Is this true?
What is it?
Daryl asked you, people say you are their sex idol supreme leader. Is this true?
No, that's it. That's another weirdo.
That's another weirdo.
Right. Yeah, this game is full of weirdos, especially R5s. Like, be aware of R5s. Like, very mentally unstable people around, causing these KvKs to like feel worse. You know.
Hey, tell to Pepe I love him, BN. Okay. Ryuka says we can tell you now that from IMFS and TS we have no intention to fight YSS this season at all for now. Okay. YOLO. Let me see if we got anything else. Kiwi says, Pepe, what do you think the chances of NxW winning Zone 2? Oh, yeah, I guess that's interesting. Yeah, what do you think about your matchup? That's a good question. What do you guys think about your matchup against IMFS? If you had to give a percentage on how likely it is you think you guys or they will win.
TFS we faced, I know what to expect from TFS, but 225 is someone we never faced.
Okay.
So it's hard to guess, but I would say it will be a close matchup. I mean, on paper, both servers look active. Both server has heavy hitters. They have around 10% more members. I think they're full server. But I mean, they will need that extra 10% members to match our activity. So I think it's kind of equal, I would say.
Okay. And then let me see what else I got for you here. We got Kiwi says, Pepe, what do you think? Oh, wait, hang on. No, wait. Here it is. Crayons says, Pepe, on a scale of 1 to 10, I imagine with 10 being the most or 1 being the least, how proud are you of Jason for trying to work with Dark?
I don't care about either of them. I'm not interested in any other R5 or any other kingdom.
Okay, fair enough.
It's all their drama, their dispute, their stuff, which I'm not interested in.
Gotcha. Okay, let me see. Okay. Rex says, if you win NxW, you owe us a dragon frame.
I don't know which alliance you are, but like this season, yeah, you can get anything you want. We don't care about rewards. We don't care about embers.
Let me see. Rogel Daddy asks, Pepe, when is the gooning ban for NxW on for NxW? I don't even know what that is.
It starts on Sunday with the Zone 2 opening.
Okay, wait. What is the gooning ban?
You don't want to know.
I don't. Is it like? Is it not safe for work? That. Can you? Is it? Yeah. You have to text it. Can you text it to me?
No, I don't want to.
No. Can you type it for me? Really? I want to know. Now I want to know.
What do you want to know?
Just type it.
Like,
Just
what kind
just
of
type
map?
it out. I'll just type it out, and then I'll determine if it's appropriate or not for me to say.
I mean, just search what Gunning is. I don't
Oh,
know
oh,
how
I
to
see. Okay, I can just do a Google. I just do a Google search. Let's see.
Yeah.
Here we go. How about what is? Oh, dear Lord. Yeah, that's probably not safe. That's well. Now that I read more, this is becoming slightly more. What is it, like X-rated? Dear Lord. Okay, interesting. I feel like this is
Yeah, we don't do that during
some neat
important zones.
behavior. Okay, yeah, probably appropriately won't. Easy says don't Google. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I told you, like, I warned you.
yeah, yeah, okay, that's okay. I mean, it's. I mean, again, it wasn't exactly what I thought, but yeah, I mean, yeah, still not safe. Still, yeah, that's NSFW. um, let me see. What else we got here? Kat, you don't want to know me. Dude, I'm so done. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to ask. I'll have to ask Pepe though off stream. Like, what is this like some event that you guys run? I mean, just yeah, I'll see. Have to be NxW. Let me see. NxW. Kat says yeah, not safe for. Jeez. Let me see if we got anything else for you. Pepe just emotionally scarred PN. Yeah. Now here we go. Kiwi asks, okay, maybe it's one of the last ones, and then we'll let you go. Kiwi asks, Pepe, what do you think the fix is for these maps? Stop these issues happening, 2v2s, square maps. That's actually a really good one. Pepe, did you see my triangle KvK map suggestion?
No, I didn't see that, but it sounds like a terrible idea. I'm sorry to say that.
What?
I think
Sorry, Pepe, we're losing you. We're losing you right now.
the SOS 7
What an
map
asshole!
that I saw,
Go ahead.
the SOS 7 map I saw looks quite good. I mean, I didn't see the details yet, but 2 versus 2. I just hope it's not a team up season. I just hope it's like top 4 kingdoms going 2 versus 2 against each other. I think it would be crazy KvK. But if it is another team up like AB stuff, I'm not very excited about it. I just hope that it is top 4 kingdoms and the KvK1.
Okay. You mean for the next? You mean for the next one for that Dragon Siege? Season.
Yeah, exactly. I mean that map looks very good. Also, it looks like very easy to do Diplo. It is 2 versus 2. It looks completely mirrored, so it will be very easy to. I think other than Zone 3s, it is mirrored,
Yeah.
but it looks very easy to do Diplo. I feel like. I mean, we need developers to help, leadership make the Diplo. I think when you give leaderships a lot of flexibility, especially when doing Diplo, it doesn't end up being good. So
Yeah.
developers have to force some sort of stuff on us so that Diplo goes easier.
Okay. Man, I'm trying to see if I can find. Oh my god! Let me hang on. Let me see if I can find my map idea. So I can show you how. Oh, here it is. Here it is. You can hang on. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. Here it is. I'm gonna show you my map idea. You freaking triangle hater. Let me see here. I'm gonna make you love triangles. Hang on. Let's see here. Where's? Okay. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Okay. So, okay, here it is. I'm showing it to you. Let me. I'm gonna show it on stream too as well. Hang on.
On Discord?
Yeah, I sent you on Discord.
Okay, this one.
Okay, so open it up, or just tell me when you have it like zoomed, like maxed. So, because I'm going to have to let me explain it first.
So what is this, food chain?
No, fucking this fucking guy, man. It's fucking done with you. All right, okay, you got it open. Listen, let me explain. So, the way it works. Do you remember the S2 Bellerin? Do you remember the Bellerin season 2 map?
I started in 375.
You started in 375?
Yeah, this is our original server, 375.
Oh dear God. Okay. So you probably do not remember the Bellerin season 2 map. Then.
No, I don't. I have no idea.
That's cool. What a noob. All right, listen. So this is how this plays out. So on the Bellerin season 2 map, the way it was set up is when it was originally developed. This is back during what I considered what was basically the most exciting KvK.
Wait, I know this map. The final zone was at the edge of the map, right?
Yeah, like the north middle edge, and it was like the frost
Yes,
dragon.
I know this map. I know this
Yes.
map.
And so you might remember, because I talk about this, where I tell people like the most exciting, the most engaging, fun KvK I've ever seen was when TFS and Noir were fighting it out on this Bellerin Season 2 map. I mean, I have videos back then of just how odd, like it was the
There
most
were
epic final zone I've ever seen in the game's history.
the
Uh,
thing is, was it like 6 starting zones or 4?
no. It was oh, you know what it might have been? It might have been, I think, like 3 and 3, and it was split and it was like a mountain range
Yeah,
that you couldn't
the
go
problem
between.
is, I remember it. Like,
Yeah.
if it is 3 and 3, then how are you going to balance it? You have to do right versus left,
No,
and
no, no. Exactly. So again, this is my improved version. Now you could do 4 kingdoms or 6. It doesn't matter to me. The way this would
okay,
work, this was the challenge for me. This was the biggest detriment on the original Bellerin Season 2 map, was because you had this impassable mountain range that went through the middle,
yes,
and there was no PvP. You had no PvP zones. The only PvP opportunity you had was at the statue that was in Zone 3.
yeah, correct.
And so my adjustment to this would be like a team season, right? The devs pick the teams. You could do 4 kingdoms or 6, and then you have one team on one side, one team on the other side, and everyone moves together through each of the zones. And then you have a big middle PvP zone, which would act essentially like a Suedo Zone 2, Suedo Zone 3 PvP zone, right? And then you would also have a statue area. Now, I drew the statue area inside of the zone, but just imagine it being outside of the zone, right? So the statue would open first in each zone, and then you get the big zone opening, and there would be enough objectives or something like that, right, for you to obviously fight it out. So you get basically all the best of both worlds. You get statue, you get to fight in each zone, and then you get the big crescendo PvP in the end in the FZ. Boom. What do you think about that now? Triangles ain't looking so bad now, are they, Pepe?
I don't know what to say. But you expect so much from the developers, I think. I mean, there's no need to reinvent the wheel. Like, just copy the Rise of Kingdom maps, bring them here.
Pepe, but what do you think
That's
about the
done.
potential? If they could do this, what do you think about the idea?
Uh, like how those align? Like, you cannot split those starting zones between same allies. Like, the building here would be very chaotic. Yeah, no,
Well,
this
yeah, you'd have to
works.
have some level of coordination, but that's no different than people talking about build plans and regular KVKs, anyways.
No, but the kingdom on the bottom, I mean, look at the length to the final zone. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what you do is you just do like some alliance forts or something, right? You would do like forts, or what, maybe they do some portals or something. I mean,
Yeah,
again,
but still,
you
I
can
don't
you can
know.
set it up to where you can make it easy for people to access the passes to those middle PvP zones. And then, you make it, and I'm just talking, just assume perfect world, Pepe. Stop asking all these Shark Tank interrogational investigative questions. Just imagine perfect world and what I just explained. Would you at least want to see this tried once?
Bien, you can design the perfect map, okay, all you want. With these kings and R5s, it's gonna be same shit that this KvK1 is. You cannot fix. I mean, you're focusing on the wrong things. It's not only about the map. Like, there needs to be some other stuff.
Pepe, you're always going to have the intangibles. I just want to know what you think about the shell of the
I
KvK
don't
map
like it.
idea.
I don't like it.
Okay, why don't you like it?
It's not. I mean, it is mirrored y-axis, but it's not mirrored x-axis. My perfect map is mirrored every side, like x-axis, y-axis. Either a circular map, or it can be a rectangular as well, like a square as well. I don't like this.
I'm going to be honest. I feel you're a triangulation. That's what you are. You're just a racist against triangles. I think I think
Yeah,
I think we've really
maybe.
gotten to the bottom of this. This is eye opening. I'm
I
going to be honest.
cannot
I'm slightly
imagine
disappointing.
like doing planning and building on this map, so I
I'm
don't
going
know.
to be honest. The fact that you have disrespected a triangle as the base shape that all beloved children learn at a young, tender age. I expected more from you, Pepe. This is disappointing. I mean, this potentially, I think, has ruined my evening. I mean, more in more ways than you might think.
I think you should talk with Yohei. He likes your idea.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna design a frickin' rectangle that's gonna be the bee's knees, and then I'm gonna show you that next time we talk, and then we'll see what you have to say.
Okay, we can schedule that.
All right. Listen, it's not usually in me to end things on a bad note with a sour taste in my mouth, but you were kind enough to come on, so there at least is that. With that
This
being,
is like this is constructive criticism. You can do better. I believe in you. That's why I said those.
well, I mean, just really showing off your king-like behavior to me. All right, well, that's it. We had this guy on. He said some things, talked a bit. That's cool. Jeez. Well, Pepe, we'll give you the last words here. Any shout outs, shots you'd like to fire, declarations you would like to make, please feel free. The floor is yours.
No, nothing. Just NxW. That's it.
Just NxW. That's okay. Well, awesome, man. Well, first and foremost, in all seriousness, Pepe, I really appreciate you coming on. I don't know if we've had a chance. Is this our first time talking in VC?
Yeah, this is our first time, and looking at your reactions, I think you won't invite me again, so it might be the last as well.
Never. I would never do such a thing. But Pepe, thank you so much. No, and again, in all seriousness, I really appreciate you coming on. This has been incredibly delightful. Literally, again, most people know I love talking shop. So anytime that I get an opportunity to talk, to meet new people, especially from other kingdoms, other alliances, just being able to hear your approach to managing the kingdom, to doing your Diplo, to how you feel about the KvKs. And clearly what it seems to me is you have a lot of care and you have clear beliefs in how you want your kingdom to play and what you'd like for them to stand for. And you feel very certain and very confident in those beliefs. And again, that's always something I can respect. So
that's why NxW is different.
And I'm gonna be honest. You're like the king of like the one word or short phrase answers here.
You can ask those who faced us. They will explain better.
Yeah, okay. He's getting a little more into character now. Well, all right. Well, Pepe, thank you so much, man. Again, I really appreciate the time. I will leave you to it. I know it is late for you, so hopefully you get some good sleep. My pleasure.
Thank you too.
All right, man. Yeah, you take care.
Take care. Goodbye.
Later. All right, guys. Well, listen, that was Pepe. We got more for you. We are going to start. We are going to start breaking down the zone 2s for all of the, I think, 6 or 7 top KvKs. So we're going to go through that next, and then we are going to start setting up my project work for the 2 big videos, or maybe 2 or 3 big videos that I got to do some prep for when it comes to doing updates on all of the gen pools, so we can kind of figure out where all the kingdoms are, because I'm going to do a big video on that. But for now, I do want to update the zone 2. Let me catch up a little bit on chat here, and then we'll start, because we did already do a bit for zone 2s on, I think, KvK1. So I have basically, these are just like the potential ones that could play out, right? So in this case, we got WBA NTS, how that matchup looks, and then below I think we have, this is if YSS fought NTS, how that would look in their zone 2, and then we have the IMFS, here it is, the IMFS NxW one here at the bottom to show what that was. But yeah, let me catch up real quick, and then we will continue with filling out the remainder of our zone 2s, and I think we might only have 4 or 5 to do here. And then I want to start putting together, I actually started doing this already. So I got a recent scan on yesterday, I think it was. I already sent this over to Drew. I'm just waiting for Drew, whenever he gets some time, to whenever he gets some time to update it, and then we're going to go over the updated matchups and how those look ahead of the Zone 2. So hopefully there should be plenty of time to do that. I mean, again, we basically have 8 days or so, I think, based on what Pepe was telling us until Zone 2 opens. So I'll probably try to follow up with Drew again tomorrow. I'm sure he's just busy. But whenever there is time to update that, we're going to show you. This is all post Brink of War stuff too as well. So this was from yesterday. And so we're able to kind of see where everyone is, like true power. They also added historical power for top 300 for us. So I got all like my gen column. We're going to fill this out as well while we go. So again, that should be pretty cool to do that. So we'll show you guys a little bit more of that. I'll probably increase the font size so it makes it a little easier to read for everyone in addition. Starwin says, BN, did you know Mubin is Jason's daddy? Zenju, what's up, man? Welcome. Next guest, Yohei. GG Pepe, you're the best, bro. Lady Azura, what's up? Welcome. I haven't watched a ton of BN, but this just sold me on him. This is the kind of stuff I'd be saying to people. Yeah, I appreciate it. Rickus, what's up, man? No, I'm just seeing these now. You broke him. BN, you broke him. Damn it. Vital, what's up, man? Just tuned in. This has ruined my evening. Yeah, man. Oh my gosh. I know, man. I know it's been too good. No. But listen, man, Pepe was a blast, man. I very much, and Pepe was such a vibe, and it was so nice to be able to hear from him and being able to talk a little bit more. You know, I think the thing, that I always try and at least explain to people is I think, when you play these kinds of games, access is really important. And you as a community member, you as a player, you may not always have the opportunities to hear from, talk to, ask questions of, engage with people that are in top kingdoms, top KvKs, especially if they surround or are involved in issues that you really care about. And even if it's just doing kind of a simple Q&A at the end of me chatting with someone, I love being able to incorporate you all, the community, and hopefully you enjoy that, right? I mean, again, I like to believe I can reach out to anyone, right? And we can get someone on to have a conversation more or less about anything. Now, it doesn't always mean everyone's going to accept, as we've seen at times, but I at least feel comfortable in being able to go to any kingdom, whether it's an R5, an R4, a member, anyone in the game, and at least going to ask, right? And I feel pretty confident that 99% of people are okay with coming on, having a conversation. And I love being able to provide and to showcase that access to you all, the community. And I hope people, I'm sure people appreciate it. And again, I think Pepe is just another good example of someone, whether you view someone as a hero, whether you view someone as a villain. For me, I love being able to showcase the people that are in this community that play this game, regardless of what position you're in. I like being able to show those things off, especially from someone like myself who has, a number of years in Kingdom Builders, for my own knowledge and my experience playing a couple other games before this. You have a general foundational understanding, and I love being able to provide these things. And I think it's great when people can kind of come in and have these conversations. So yeah, man, it's great stuff. Before we start plugging in the rest of these Zone 2s, let me see if I need to catch up a little bit more here. Evil Cat, shout out to the folks. Zenjun, Yohei, step up to the mic. Don't be shy. It's your time to shine. Lady Azura, first and last time. Sama, what's up, man? Rage baited by a triangle. Yeah, Yohei, thank you. Pepe's the best. Lady Azura, just spend 5 minutes saying goodbye to each other. LMAO. Yeah. Rigas, now BN has an upside down triangle. Pepe, you made him sad. Yeah. Hey, sweetie. Oh, she just left. No, that was fast. Ladies, I hope you're happy, BM. I 100% going to start calling Pepe a triangulist. Triangulist. Yeah. Hey, what's up, man? Free future video for you covering YSS biggest power loss in COD history. How kind of their Clown R5. I mean, listen, man. Do I think that there can be some situations where we see kingdoms, either kind of ruin themselves or have very challenging off seasons following what I'm sure would just be generally categorized as a disappointment or huge disappointment of a KvK. Absolutely. We've seen these things happen before in the past. And, you know, is it something that could potentially happen to YSS or any other kingdom for that matter? Sure, absolutely. I hope it doesn't, of course. But I think time will tell, and we'll have to see how the zones play out, you know, what future conversations. Because listen, I think if anything, KvK1 is absolutely going to be something that we hear more of. I don't think it's going to be as simple as, you know, that's it. And everything we've heard in the beginning prior to the season starting is going to be, you know, the all-encompassing deets that we end up getting out of it. I think we are going to hear more. I think we'll probably, if we don't, I believe if we don't hear anything before Zone 2, I think once Zone 2 concludes, we'll probably end up hearing more about the KvK, about YSS and how that's playing out against NTS and IMFS. So yeah, I mean, I definitely think there's more to it, absolutely. You know, I mean, to be fair, like I said, man, part of me just feels like this is the start. You know, like who, you know, who really knows the extent and where this thing can go. Yeah, that's cool. So I think we're good there. Let me skadoosh this. I'm gonna go ahead. I need to start putting together some of these zone 2s. So let me go ahead and I need to figure out, let's do this first. Let's head back up here. We're gonna go KvK start and let's grab some more. Let's do this. Okay, so I think the next one we're gonna have to do, I think, is gonna be 30. Yeah. Ladies, I'm sure it's just me not paying attention before, but I feel like we are seeing these big server downfalls more frequently. I mean, to be fair, I mean, you're not wrong. You know, I mean, there has absolutely been, you know, a lot more of those situations happening than, you know, there once was. I think that's pretty spot on for the most part when it comes to what some people's expectations were for top kingdoms. I mean, I think you look at, you know, I think most notably, right, like the BTX situation that happened, and then, you know what, shortly after that, Echo, EIS. I mean, GG, if you really want to go far back. I mean, yeah, man. I mean, there's been quite a few. You know, I think it almost feels like more of it has occurred and been happening since the Echo EIS situation. I think that to me really felt like it was a kind of start of something bigger than I think even the average person would have guessed. I just think the implications and the ripple effects of that were a lot bigger. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm very happy to see that Milk and some OG Echo people, along with others, you know, are basically doing their own new thing, which is very similar to OMG in Kingdom 5, right? Which is ex-Noir. You know, some ex-Noir people along with some new people, right? And I think there's something there where, you know, there's absolutely a exciting opportunity. I mean, you got to think about it. At one point, Noir in Kingdom 5, back when Mephisto was playing, right, with basically the only person who hit over 1 billion power in CoD so far. No one else has come close, I think. I mean, there are some strong people, but not close enough to that power. And it doesn't necessarily mean people have to go for that, right? But you think about how big Kingdom 5 and Noir were, and you think about how big Kingdom 60 and Echo were, and how they were just, even TFS, right, and 40 at their time. And, you know, they had their time as well. But you think about how big these kingdoms were and how strong they were and how long they lasted at the top. And, you know, part of me feels like you can't help but have a little bit of nostalgia for that. Like, there's not a little bit of, oh man, like, you know, those were some of the golden days, you know? And I think a lot of people were really excited, you know, when those were kind of going on at the time. And now you have this where Kingdom 5 with OMG, they're slowly working their way back up, and you just kind of like seeing Kingdom 5 there because of historically what they're known for. And then Milk is now, you know, doing their own thing in 60, kind of bringing 60 back to prominence. I mean, I will say, even despite a lot of these disbands and some downfalls, as it was worded, I do think there is some excitement building for some of those particular kingdoms, and at least to me. And then obviously you got some of the new faces like the 698s, the YSSs, right? People that have joined G2. There's excitement there as well, right? And I think some of that can reinvigorate, right? Where it doesn't feel as though it's a total net loss. I guess that's how I look at it. And so those things excite me. I like seeing some of the new up-and-comers coming into the G2 pool, or just some people kind of growing prominence, coming in and really gaining well, having good traction and good momentum coming into Season of Strife, out of Season 3, and just kind of getting some good build, some good off-season growth. And then, you know, you get to see some of these OG kingdoms that you've known, right, that were top, kind of, you know, coming back to light. It's just, part of me feels like that's something to be excited for as well, right? And, you know, it's not to say that one is better than the other. I think both can be true in this case. Oh, hang on one sec, fam. The lady's calling. Okay, we're back. Okay. I want to be honest, man. Yeah, dude, round 2 with the lady's been great. Anyways, yes, so we're back. We got about an hour left here, and then I'm gonna have to hop off. So you guys got me for another hour because I have to go and assist the lady here in a bit. But let's go ahead and finish out the Zone 2 stuff that I really want to do. So there's about 4 or 5 of these, and I want to see if we can get a little bit of work done on the spreadsheet. So let's load her up if we can. So we need 60, 89, right? So let's do boom, new matchup. We're gonna go SOS 4, 60, 89, and this is gonna be Zone 2. And now I need to see where the fight is gonna be, right? Because we know, let's hold this. Let me do A here, B there. And let's go to, let's do it this way. Go one more time. We can do it. Here we go. So this is 2. So we need to figure out what the matchup is going to be. Here, let me catch up on chat real quick. I'm sure. Yeah, big server downfalls. What we got? I mean, a lot of YSS players are very unhappy Easy Peasy says, what's up, man? I mean, a lot of YSS players are very unhappy with them being solo. Really? That's interesting. To a point of where, Easy, do you think I should reach out to YSS people and ask them? To the point they already said they're leaving after this KvK. Really? Highness says, yeah, you're right, lady. And it'll just continue, and the devs will lose players' money and leadership for alliances until they fix this trash force tipple for no reason. Yeah. Lady, let me see, Azura. They were unhappy about no fights, and YSS leadership doubled down to make everyone else unhappy too. Jeez. Zenjun, what's up? Clown Show. They shouldn't agree to the diplo in the first place if they knew it will affect their players. Mark says, Milk next season going to replace YSS. I mean, listen, man. I mean, you might not be wrong on that. That's not the craziest take. Astradius, what's up? You think YSS is going to win against WB? I mean, to be fair, that's only if they fought them, right? That wouldn't potentially be until Zone 3, if that happens. That would also have NTS. I mean, you're basically talking about like a 3-kingdom free-for-all, which it could be, if that happens. PZ says, I mean, YSS were the ones that voted and wanted the left versus right diplo to begin with. Yeah. Mark, I feel like YSSs cannot control this much power they hold yet. Maybe because of lack of experience. Oh, so you think it's like a, gosh, what was it, like a BTX? I know some people were talking about that with like the BTX situation. Maybe it wasn't BTX, maybe it was another one that, I thought BTX was there where they saw like a big power spike and people thought that they just needed to do a little bit more filtering and a little bit more kind of trimming, like they grew a little bit too fast. Yukit says, damn, I missed the interview. Just be kind and rewind. Yeah, you could, people so smart. Yeah. Yo, hey, 249, too strong, bro. #1 alliance power right now. Yeah. Lady, it was an interesting interview. Oh no, it absolutely was. I mean, no, dude. Pepe was a blast. I'm gonna cut that up too as well. And I'm gonna release that interview solo. I'll probably do it tomorrow. I'll probably have to ask Pepe if he can shoot me a PFP of himself. Yukin said, did he mention me? I don't think so, Yukin. I'm sorry about that. Lady Azura, he knew it would outshine the interview. Is YSS still have a chance against WB in their next KvK? I mean, maybe. I think it depends on how the offseason plays out and if both are going to be able to retain a decent bid here. Yo, hey, bro, only 225 can beat WB and COD. Easy peasy. We have a couple already wanting or saying they are coming to IMFS. Interesting. I almost wonder if I should reach out to some YSS members and just ask them, like, what do they think about the situation? You guys think I should do that? Should I just reach out? I don't know if we'll do that right now. I want to at least do the Zone 2 stuff first. Maybe we'll do that after. Let me update the Zone 2 stuff, and then maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll go, I'll reach out on my main and just ask the YSS, just ask some of the members and say, look, what do you think about the situation if you want to comment? Maybe. We'll see. Merc, what's up, man? BTX was casual, who got too big? Yeah, oh no, that's what it was. Thank you, Merc. That's what it was. Yeah, like they weren't kind of this ultra competitive alliance in Kingdom, but they were growing like one. And wasn't it, I thought part of it for BTX was that they didn't really want to become ultra competitive. So it was almost kind of like they wanted their cake and wanted to eat it too, right? Like they grew super fast, but they still wanted to maintain kind of that casual competitiveness, and they didn't want to go full competitive, right? And them growing as much as they did kind of almost forced them to make the change, but the change took longer than they thought it was going to take. Yeah, well, I thought that was kind of the general gist of the story from what I recall. Yeah. Highness, what's up? YSS won't be anywhere near the top for next KvK. I mean, dude, I'm gonna be honest. Some of you feel pretty confident about this. COD Sunny, really poor image from YSS. Yeah, Highness, they on track for KvK 5 or 6 at the moment. Damn, bro, that's rough. I mean, it may not end that way. Riz, was it Rizzy? Riziz? I'll just say Riz. What's up, man? Milk and WO will probably go back to top 5 next KvK. Oh yeah, I definitely think Milk will. I think Cap and them can get that done in WO if that's what they really want. It also depends on what direction they want to go in as well, right? Ladies, are honestly had no idea BTX was the casual alliance. Well, again, I'm not saying full casual. I think they were more casual competitive. That's what I mean. That's what I remember. That's what I recall back when they were growing a lot. Because I remember they had their first season after they really got a power boom, they underperformed in PvP. And the stats showed that in their PvP activity. So it's not just me saying this, the data reflected that. And then it came out that they really needed to like start, you know, trimming and then bring in more people to kind of fill out that competitive. Because I remember they kind of took like a dip one season. Maybe it was, I know at least one. And then they kind of basically, I don't want to say rebuilt, but just fine-tuned at that point. Riz says, YSS needs to get humbled back. Super Cal, the puppet, is spending his money on the wrong alliance. Merc says they recruited as competitive, but the leadership style didn't change. That's what it was. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Merc. No. That's exactly what it was. Because I'm remembering this now. By just a little mistake, they could lose a lot of people. I could call it eco or just didn't care enough. Yeah. I mean, again, right, for some kingdoms and alliances, that very much could be the case. Riz says it's going to be another YY situation. Yeah, I mean, hopefully not. I see where you're going with that, Riz. Yo, hey, true. I feel bad for YSS new recruits. Cap, what's up, baby? Mr. Pumpkin Patch himself, what up? WAO is washed, this guy. I think as long as Super Cal backs, then YSS will still have a presence, yeah. I mean, wasn't that the same case, though, with Neff? Right, you could make that argument with Neff and Noir, like that was part of it. Cap says we're going KvK 20. Yeah. PZYS's leadership was used to being able to bully their way in Diplo before coming to G2, and it shows. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, that's an interesting take there. I almost wonder, you know what would be interesting on that, Easy, is I almost wonder, it almost makes me think, or I wish, I should say, that I was tracking more of the KvKs for the different gens, so I could go back and look at the kingdoms that were in YSS's previous KvKs and go and ask them, go and ask their leadership teams, how did the Diplo play out with YSS? Part of me feels like that could be an interesting conversation to go and have. Yeah. Riz, Cap, and Kirito's core team have super huge potential for Dragon Siege, yeah. Azura, Dev's gonna create G4 just for... I mean, there already is a G4. I think the G4 just rotates in and out depending on the timelines. Cap says WAO #1 PvE alliance. Oh man, Cap. Riz, shut up. You're washed up. Ass needs to go back to top 5, Cap. That's an order. I need you to be stressed out again. Jeez. Wishing stress on someone, that's rough. Riz, the G2 matchup will be watched more frequently because it will help players leverage what alliance to go for Dragon Siege. Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. Highness says they did, and they still lost 2 seasons. Yeah, it was in their KvKs, BN as an R5 and G3, G1. Okay, there you go. Easy says, I mean, YSS was able to 1v all in their previous gens because it was T4s versus Super Cal, completely different in G2. Yeah, I mean, you're not necessarily wrong there, right? I mean, I don't think it was all T4s, but you could maybe argue that the majority was T4s. Highness says Tomato did the same thing in G3. Azura, Dane, Cap, figure out how to get to G4. Yeah. Highness says he been a clown like this. Got the screenshots to show stuff on the KvKs. Riz, the only problem I have with Dragon Siege is it's still not a camp-based scenario, but at least they squeezed down the regions to 4. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm with you on that. Part of me almost just feels like they should just make every season a camp scenario. Let the devs just pick who's going to be on whose team and then, you know, play it out. I don't necessarily see anything wrong with that. Yeah. Azura says there are a lot more weaker accounts, even if they weren't T4. there's a huge difference between the low spend T5 and Kraken like Super Cow. No, absolutely. And I think that is a valid point. Yeah, Riz should most likely reduce the lag for KvK1, 3, yeah. No, I'm okay with a 4-kingdom KvK, especially if it at least helps the lag out a little bit. I mean, would I like to see 6 and that be that be playable and more importantly, tolerable? Absolutely. But if not, I'm okay with it going to 4, especially if that helps a bit. Missouri says, I'm not low spender, and even I have been straight up bullied by a higher spender red arm totaled my calves. Yeah, I mean, yeah. No, there you go. Right, I mean, that's it. Okay, now that I'm caught up on chat, no one can, excuse me, yell at me anymore. So let's figure this out for the zone 2s. So let's go to 89, and then, okay. So the zone 2's for 89. Let's do this first. Who's next to 30? So we got 92 and 698. So it's probably going to be 30, 698 going down. So 30 is probably going to fight. Who's next to 698? 266. Okay. So it's absolutely going to be 30, 698. And I'm going to need to figure out what, let's see here. 30, 698. So let's go KvK2. Here we go. And then whatever one this is. So this is, we'll do this as 30. This should go pretty quick. I don't think it's going to take too long. So there's 3698. I just need to figure out the zone that is, because that's going to be 1. Is it Yao? It's NWO, right? Hang on. Okay, yeah, it is. So the zone is going to be Tai, whatever this is, Tai Hua. Okay, so there we go. So that's one matchup. And then we need to figure out the other one. Let me save this, and then let's go back to start. And then the next one, I got 92. Who's next to 92? 60. Okay. So it's probably then 283. Oh, well, no, there's 283 next to 62. So, and then 283 is next to 266. Oh, so yeah. So here we go. So I think everyone gets it. So 92 and 60. Let me set those up. So this is going to be SOS 4, 60, 89. Zone 2. I don't know what this is, but we're going to do this. And I'll add the kingdoms in first. So what I say, 92, 60. This is probably what it's going to be. We'll figure out that name for that in a sec. Let's do a new one again. And then this is going to be SOS 4, 60, 89. Hey, sweetie. Is it getting dark? Is it getting dark? Okay. So we did. Okay, sweetie, we're going to leave in a little bit. So you got to be back in 30 minutes. Okay. So next one is going to be 283. Oh, sorry. I said 83, right? Yeah, 83. And then 266. Yeah, because we got 30 and 698 already. Yeah. Okay. So these are the matchups. I just need to figure out the northern one over here. So this is going to be, here it is, Chong Li, and that is between WAO. So let me find WAO. Here we go. Okay. So this one is Chong Li. Awesome. So we're set there. And then we need this one, which is RFF. I think it's here, RFF and RAC. Oh no, that's milk. So it's not that one. It's going to be this one, I think. Right? Hang on, let's make sure this is them. Yeah, RAC and then RFF. Okay, so here it is. It's Taiyun. Yeah, okay, cool. Awesome. There we go. So there is KvK2's done. Awesome. Now we got to do KvK 3. So let's do that real quick. So this will be SOS 4, 60, 90, right? Yeah. Zone 2. Okay, let's check this out. So we got to do, that's 6090. So let's check out, what do we have here? Sorry, let me catch up. Australia, so what's up? What is M over P, M over PR? So M over P is PvP activity. It's your PvP activity estimated from performance last season going into the current season. M over PR is your PvP activity rank. So an example of this on how you'd read it would be WBA is #1 in power, but they rank 9th in PvP activity. Hopefully that gives you a good kind of just brief example. That's how you would kind of read that left to right. And for anyone here who wants to take a look at the website, again, I'll put a link in chat as well. Again, I have it as the pinned comment on here. So if you guys want to view that, you are more than welcome to. Yeah. Okay, so we got that. Let's do number 3. So I got to figure out KvK 3. So matchup. Okay, let's figure out where everyone is here. So 5 is next to 310 and 110. Oh, wow. Okay, but that doesn't mean they're going to get. So who's next to 110? 345 is next to 110. So it's 345, 110, 310, right? Okay, this is good. So that means 110 ROG is probably going to fight OMG. Oh, that's dope. Okay. I think we got that. Excuse me. So let's plug that in. So it's going to be 90. Okay. So let's do A. And then we'll do B. So it's going to be 110 verse 5. I think that's a lock. And then it's probably going to be 345 versus 247, I assume, but let's double check that. And then 247 and 345, yes. And the next one could be 341 and 310. Yeah, okay, good. So we're set on those. So it's basically like 222 apiece. So yeah, this is actually set up very nicely for 6090. There's zone 2. You know what? I'll plug those in a moment. Let's do the new matchup first here. Okay. And then we'll go back and plug in the zones. So zone 2, and then we'll do A, back, B, and it's going to be, what do we say, 345 and 247. It looks like that's probably how that's going to play out. We'll do another new matchup. Here we go. SOS4, 6090. Zone 2. And then we'll do A, come back B. And awesome. Here we go. And then this one's going to be 341, 310. Sweet. All right. Let's go in here so I can memorize these dang maps. Okay. So where's NWE? Oh, it's Lion. So Lion's 310, and then I think this is NW. It is. Okay, so they're gonna fight it out in Taiyun. Awesome. And then here's one more. Okay, and then Chongli, was that 6090? Yeah. And this is 345 CC. So CC's here. Okay, good. So they're gonna fight theirs off. This actually works out well. Chongli. And then they're gonna fight theirs off, I think, here. Yeah, that's OMG. ROA. So they're gonna fight in. Wow. Okay, awesome. So there we go. So we'll save that. So that's KvK 3 done at the moment. We're set there. Let me see here. Okay. So we're good there. Let's go and do KvK 4, right? So that's going to be, and we're only going to do a couple of these. So zone 2, 6091. All right, let's pull that up. And 691 is, boom, okay. We need to figure out what the matchup is here for 691. So it's ED 17, 221, 620. Oh, here we go. Oh, so it's like a 2221 is what they've done here, I think. So it's 221, 620, 17. Okay, so that means 221 is going to go up against 444. Cool. That actually was pretty quick. So let's add. All right. So 221, 444. That looks to be the matchup there. And then let's add another one. And 1691, right? Zone 2. We'll do an add. We'll come back. B. And then next is going to be 620, 452. Okay. It's actually not bad. Next one is going to be SOS 4, 1691. Zone 2, and then we're going to add, boom, B, here we go. And then next one will be 17530. Okay. Now I just got to figure out the starting zones here, or the zone 2 names. I think 17 was down here, actually. So, where's ED? KOA. Oh, there it is. KOA, and then ED is on this side. They are. Okay, so their zone 2 is going to be Yao Kuang. It's a little bit different on this one. And then PGD CV. Let's see who we got here. Oh, CV's there, which is, I think, P. They are. So their zone 2 is going to be QA Mo. Awesome. And then the 21SW, I think that's, yep. And then SCL. Yep. So theirs is going to be Yuan Pi. Okay, cool. There we go. I think that, what was that, KvK4? Yeah, 88, 89, 99. Okay, awesome. So that's KvK4. Sweet. So we got KvK5 is 1692. And let's take a look at that. I go too far? Oh, I'm sorry. KvK4 is free-for-all. So there's no way of knowing who they're going to fight. Now, that's not true. I could probably go in and ask who they are expected to fight. Do I have anyone from KvK5? Man. Let me see. Do I have anyone from KvK5 on my list? Do I have anyone from Beck? Oh, I do Arlen. Who's this? Oh, no, I haven't talked to you. Rough Life. Oh, gosh. Is there anyone from KvK5 in the chat? If not, from any of these alliances, from 181, 551, 226, 259, 500, 115. Otherwise, I might have to reach out to someone real quick just to ask and see if they can give me... Oh, no, you know what I'll do? I already got the answer. Let me go into their kingdom. Where's my scout account? Let me just go and load up one of the kingdoms, and I'll just ask in their KvK chat. Easy. Easy. Give me a sec. I already know what we're going to do. And I'll just ask and say, hey, look, I'm trying to put the zone 2 matchups together. Can anyone tell me who's going to fight who? Boom. We'll do that real quick. Here we go. Let me load this up. I'll skadoosh it over for us. This should be super easy. All right, let's see. Let me increase the screen size here for you guys. Let's go. Boom. All right. So here we go. Let's see. Let's go into chat. Hey all, I'm trying to update the KvK analytics site. Does anyone know who is expected to fight against who in zone 2? Dude, I've been muted. What in the aka heck? Oh, I can't be muted. I'm not level 4 yet. I don't think I can type in chat. That's probably what it is. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. We got it. Yeah. There's no way. Kevin says I reported you. You guys are so mean, man. Hang on. Let me see if it's just Me not being level 4. Oh, Vital. Oh, Vital's here. No. Sorry, Vital's here. No, yeah, Vital can tell us. Okay, that's the matchup, Vital. AD on back, AD, Inc, ASCS on delay. Oh, so the only Zone 2 fight is HD Hana right now? Is that what you mean? Or if not, you might have to clarify on the other stuff. Let me see. Well, we'll see if we're truly muted. If we are, we'll just log into another one. All right, let's see. Let me copy. Oh my gosh, we are muted. What kind of shite is that, dude? Dude, how dare you? I mean, listen, everyone knows I go on my scouts in Kingdoms, man. And the only time I post anything not a question or not engaging is when I'm just promoting a live stream. How dare these humans? Let's go 551. Let's see if 551 will love us. Just the audacity. Oh, Vital says there will be, all 3 Zone 2 fights listed above. Oh, I'm sorry. I see what you mean. So it's HD versus Hana, Beck versus AD, Inc versus ASCS. Is that it? I think just because you didn't put the verses there, it was throwing me off. Is that it? So I understand. The Inc one will just happen on a 1-day delay as I am taking Hana Zone 2, whether they come or not. Okay. But is that it though? Just so I know, Vital. It's HD versus Hana, Beck versus AD, Inc versus ANCS. Is that how I read that? I just want to confirm. If that's confirmed, then I'll update it. Okay, awesome. Okay, Vital confirmed for us. So he says, yes, sorry, I'm eating. No worries. No worries. Vital's gonna report you too if you keep asking. Yeah, I just want to make sure. I appreciate you. All right, let's put that down. So that's gonna be SOS4, what is that, 6092, right? Okay. So we're gonna have 3. I'll figure out what the match is. I'm just going to put this in how he said. Oh, wait. Crap. What are the kingdoms? Hang on. HD's 500. I know that. What's Hana? Hang on. I need to figure that out now. Hana, 259. Okay, cool. 259. Okay. All right. That's 1. Let's do a second. 1692, Zone 2. And then, let's see here. You said Beck, AD. I don't have those ones memorized. There we go. Beck, 115, 226. All right. 115, 226. There we go. 226. Awesome. We got 1 more to put in for KvK5. And then I think just 1 more after this. And then you said the next one, Inc and CS. Okay. Oh, is Inc 81? Or is it 551? anyone? 551, let's see. Oh, it's 181. Okay, good. There we go. I had to figure that out. Okay. Okay. So we're good here. I just got to figure out what the zone 2s are for these peeps. Let me do that real quick. And let's see where we're at. So ACS 551. So ACS scoop. Oh, there we go. 92. That would probably help. Okay, ACS scoop. Oh, that's ink. Oh, here we go. Okay, so you guys are gonna fight in. Here we got the first one. Chong Li. And then deck 81. I bet you it's here. Yeah, that's AD. And then Gek. Yep. So you guys are gonna fight here in Hua. This actually helps a lot. And the next fight will be HD, and then I think this is Hannah. It is, so they're gonna fight here, which is Yoon. Okay, Tai Yoon. Cool. All right, so that's KvK 5. The next one we need now is KvK 6, which, I mean, that should be interesting because they're supposed to be a free-for-all. I just don't know. Sorry, not a free-for-all. It's a... Oh yeah, it's this. Yeah, so it's, see, that's interesting. It's like a 2v2. Let me just ask Tiny. Let me just ask Tiny. He can tell me what it's gonna be. Hey Tiny, what are the matchups going to be for Zone 2 in y'all's KvK? Okay. Tiny will let me know when he can. So I think we're good here for now then. Let me wait and until he gets back to me, and then we'll fill in KvK 6. KvK 7 has... Isn't RP here? I thought RP was KvK 7. Am I tripping? Oh, my bad. They're KvK 9. Jeez. Okay. So KvK 7. Who was I talking to? Oh, Snowman. I think Snowman is... I'm gonna ask Snowman. Hey, Snowman. Can you tell me... Oh. No, he already sent it to me. Here we go. No, we already got to the matchups for this. This is good. I think I can do KvK 7 here. I mean, the real question is, do I want to do KvK 7? All right. Is that 93? 1693, right? Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'm on 7. But that's... Am I tripping? Right? Oh, yeah, yeah. And then 7 here, which should be 694. Oh, why did I think I had FSK here? Oh, they're not. Okay. And 94. Okay, so it is 94. Okay, good. So I gotta correct that. So it is 94. Cool. Let's do 94. Okay, and then the matchups here are gonna be Let's do this. All right, probably 2 for that, huh? So Snowman told me it is. So 194, and they're gonna go up against 228. And oh, it's actually 3 aside. Wow. Okay, so 194, 538, 730. And this one will be 729. Cool. Okay. So that's one. This is actually a pretty quick one because he sent me the matchups already. Snowman did. So shout out to him. Like drawn out on the map, so it just makes it easier. And then it's going to be 4785. $47, 203, 85, 630. Oh, it's actually one more too. There we go. 630, 653. I wish I could remove this thing. I wish you could remove the markers. I don't know who else is with them. Who else is with 47 and 203? I feel like I'm missing someone, but I can't see it because the marker's in the freaking way. Jeez. Of course. I mean, that's just lovely. Thank you so much for being in the way. I mean, really, you're too kind. I know there's a third kingdom too. I guess I could just process of elimination it whenever this thing moves. So we'll just do this for now. So that's another matchup. And then we'll do the last one. Zone 2. And this one Snow sent me is... Okay, here we go. One, 4, 8, and then 2, 8, 9. Okay, and it's 4, 7, 6, 6, 5, 4, 2, 9, 7, 6, 7, 2. Okay, cool. Oh, hang on. I can see who I don't have now. Oh, 730, 672, 654, I do, 653, I do, 630, I do, 594. Oh, there we go. 594. That's who it is. We figured it out. Look at that. Makes sense. Cool. So that's good. So I think we're good then. We got 6 out of 7 KvK groups, I think, figured out for their Zone 2 matchups. Let's see. Oh, interesting. Did you test this? All right. So I don't think I need to hit up Snowman anymore. I think we're good. Okay. So the only one I'm waiting for then is going to be KvK6. That's from Tiny. And then I guess I can do 9, KvK9, because I think for at least the matchups, because I'm pretty sure Yami sent me the matchup here. Let me just read real quick. See if we can plug this in. Oh, here it is. Okay. So I'm probably gonna have to add in a bunch of B's on this. Yeah. Okay. So one side will do 641. Oops, hang on. Oh, actually, I didn't need to do that. I just need to move them to the other side. Why did I do that? What did I done to them? Okay. So we got 641, 618. 611. Uh, 483. I think these are just mains that are probably getting over. 369. And then 82. All right, now I need to see, and which one is this again? 96. Okay. So now I need to see who's with who here for 82. Lovely, I can't see. I see 545, but I can't see behind this because the stupid things there. Okay. Let's just do this. I'm just going to do... I guess it doesn't matter. I guess we'll just organize it, huh, for now. Okay. So that's 82, but I can't see who's below that. 369. Oh, here we go. So 76. I gotta bring down... I wonder... You know what I wonder? I wonder if I should just... Like, the kingdoms that are basically dead, I wonder if I should just remove them and just only keep the mains here. Like, you know, like this 1.3, 1.2. You know what I mean? I wonder what you guys think about that. Should I just flat out remove them? Like, just not even in... I don't even know. Part of me feels like that, but I don't know if that's, like, aggressive. Aggressive by any means. 489. And we'll move down. Yeah. Right, or, no, you know what? You know what I do? This is what I do. I have it now. For the groups, that's what I do, right? I think we should do that. Because the groups will have all the kingdoms. But I think for the matchups, we should mainly just include the stronger kingdoms. So I think that's probably what I'll do. That, to me, makes a lot more sense. I think. And I think it also simplifies it for the viewer, too, as well. Right? So I already have this in the groups. Let's just do that. I'm going to remove just all, like, the low-powered ones. And again, if you guys think differently, let me know. But I think this makes sense because we have all the kingdoms, even if they are low-powered, saved on, like, who's in the group. But I think it's fair just to remove all the low-powered ones. Because I think it also inflates the stats when we're looking at them, now that I really think about it. And I think this makes a lot more sense. Okay, so there we go. So this looks a lot better now. I think that's what I'm going to do. And then for KvK8, I think I'm going to do the same thing. Let's just remove the lowers. And I'm going to do that for actually all the groups real quick. Again, I think this is a smart thing to do. You guys let me know if you think the same or otherwise. We'll do boom. Okay. I think this is a lot better. Yeah. I think this looks a lot cleaner as well. I'm going to do the same thing up here on the -FU matchup. Right? This makes a lot of sense to me. Okay, cool. There we go. There we go. That looks pretty darn good. And then we'll remove that. The 3.7, so it's 1414. Yeah. There we go. I think this actually is going to help it a lot more. There we go. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. This is looking a lot better now. I think it's looking a lot cleaner, is what I should say. And let's do KvK10 too as well. So let's do the 1 out of here, the 1.8. These ones. We'll do the 2. There we go. Okay, this is like 7, 3, and then 7. Okay, that's fine. We'll leave it like that just for now. So for this one, let's just do the 1s. We'll just select the 1 bills for now, because I don't know if they're necessarily going to factor those in. Okay. I mean, maybe we could remove the 3s on this, but this is probably okay for now, I think. And then 12. Same thing. Maybe here we do the 1s and the 2s to start. Because obviously, you know, the even if it is lower, it's going to end up playing a little bit more of a factor. So yeah, I think maybe we can do the 1s and the 3s here. Oh, hang on. There's another 2. Yeah, let's remove the 2s for now. We'll leave the 3s. Let's just do the 2s for now. I think that's okay. We can always change it later. Yeah, here we'll just do the 1s and 2s. That's a lot of kingdoms, jeez. So only a couple we remove there. I think I'm gonna do the 1s here on this one. This will probably be a little bit more impactful. Might leave the 2s based on how this is looking. It's probably fine. 15, we'll probably only do the 1s here. Unless we see like an M for million. Okay, I think that's fine. So I think that actually looks good. I think we've done a lot of cutting and we did the zone 2s. So we need to save this now so it gets pushed for you guys. So let me do that. Let me do admin. Let's see where we're at here. Let's do 4. We're going to push this for you guys. Okay, awesome. So everything's updated. Sweet. There we go. So matchups are all updated now for zone 2 based on where we are currently. So that's great. I mean, that was the big thing we really wanted to get done here today. So this is fantastic that we have all this. Oh, hang on. I didn't do the zone 2 names for 94. Let's do that real quick. I feel bad about that. Sorry. Is that 94? Good. All right. Let's do this real quick and then we will be good. Oh, hang on. Let's go here. Where is 66? Oh, no, sorry. It's 194. Where's 194? Am I tripping? Oh, my God. Please don't tell me I'm blind. Oh, there it is. So 194 and then 7. Oh, sorry. VA 22. Okay, so right here. So it's going to be bottom left. All right. I think this is it. Yep, 22, and then Vaughn. Okay, so they're going to be fighting it here. 1. Cool. That's 1. Next one is... Oh, I got to go up. All right, next one is 47. And I said 85. Okay, so that's going to be north. Yeah, that's the north zone too, so that should be good. Okay, that's going to be Chong Li. Cool. And then last one. let's see here, is 148 and 289. So that's going to be bottom right. I think that's this one. Yep, GSS. And SR, yep. So it's this one. All right, cool. I think we're good. Awesome. So that's all updated. Let's do a quick push again, and then we should be good. Saved. Awesome. We got to push this again to update. All right. Awesome. We're good. So we're all updated now on Zone 2 matchups. The only thing I don't know yet that I'd like to get a confirmation on, like we talked about, is Tiny's group for KvK5, and then KvK1 as well, where, what's the plan? Is WB and TS going to fight each other? Are they going to hit Y? I mean, again, we might as well leave this up just in case they do any Zone 2 for YSS on just how that looks. But everything else is updated now. So if you guys want to go take a look at that, you can go take a look at Zone 2 matchups. If you want to vote on the Zone 2 matchups, you guys are more than welcome to go do that as well. But at the moment, we're pretty good. Oh, sorry, I thought we were looking at that, man. I'm just showing you guys the thing the whole time. My apologies. I thought I had moved over from the screen. I guess I did not. So the entire time I'm sitting here talking, you guys are not seeing anything. Fantastic. I know. Just spot on there, BN. Spot on. Thank you. I know I try. But everything's updated here now, so you guys can see this. Apologies there. I just got done doing all this here, so you guys can see all the Zone 2 matchups for 6 out of the 7 KvKs are good. So we got KvK1, the 4 Zone 2s that could possibly happen. We got 68. Oh, I forgot to do that. Hang on. I got to do it like this, huh? Yeah, just because I think having that will also help you guys. So let me add this in to these. Just again, I know it helps a lot when I do this. So KvK2. Yeah, I'm gonna add these in real quick, just kind of my last little thing. So it'll at least be a little easier for you guys to read through. Big fan of just a little bit more detail helps. This would be KvK7 because we did kind of a bigger skip there. 4, and this should be the last one. Okay. Yep, there we go. Everything's updated. So you guys can go and vote on these two as well if you'd like. Everything's good. We got to push this again though once that saves, and then we should be good. And then I will have to skedaddle. All right, awesome. Everything's updated. So you guys can go enjoy that. If you'd like, I'm going to throw a link to the site in chat one more time. And yeah, man, appreciate everyone kind of hanging out with us, man. This has been an awesome night. Again, I will say, before we end out, gonna try and stream over the weekend. I'll have to see what day. I don't know if maybe tomorrow or Sunday will end up working. Oh, I'm sorry, tomorrow or Monday. Tomorrow's Mother's Day, so I mean, we'll see. Probably more likely that it'll be Monday is what I assume, because I'll probably just be hanging out with the lady and doing stuff with her. And then maybe go and do something with Madre. But yeah, so if not tomorrow, definitely expect Monday for us to come back and stream, and we'll be doing a couple of things. I'm gonna try, and if we can, get a few more people to see if we can talk to about KvK1. Again, I reached out to Mark from NTS. I reached out to Alega and a few others from WB. We'll see if we're able to sit down with any of them and have a conversation. Again, if YSS wants to come on, and whether that's Tomato or someone else, and they're down for coming on stream, we'd be happy to talk to them too. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then maybe if we could do a few more, Then we'll maybe work our way to KvK2 and talk to a few people there. I'd love to bring some people on from KvK2 and talk to them as well. So yeah, hopefully we'll have plenty of good streams for you guys lined up with plenty to do and plenty to talk about. So yeah, man, this has been a great one today, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, I really appreciate the support, the viewership, the love, the chat engagement, man. It's been great. So I'm really glad things have been working out pretty well, especially with me streaming a lot more consistently, which again is my plan. That's it for me. I got to go pick up some kiddos. I hope you all have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you might be. And as always, man, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.